I may have not had my desktop audio going through to the stream. Just maybe. There's a chance. So do enjoy the lovely music that you can now hear. We're here for week 15. Good to see everyone. How you doing, Garnt? Yeti, Rye, Sniper, Trox, Vinci, Mr. Mihu. Everyone's here. Everyone's here. We're rolling. I'm gonna celebrate. I'm gonna move this green screen out of the way. You know? I'm gonna erase this green screen in celebration. Great reveal. Pause now for just $15.99. This official Miles Go for Miles wardrobe. Yeah. Don't actually do wardrobes on the merch site, but we probably could. Exclamation point merch. Reminder that the winner of the season gets a free hoodie of their choice, probably for their own franchise. But for some reason, people want a Shitwig line of merch, which doesn't actually exist at the moment. Is it free delivery? If you get a merchandised wardrobe, then yes, I will deliver it personally. Right. I should probably update the site, actually. Some of the bios might need some new information, because what a season this has been so far. And we are approaching the climax. Are you ready to climax? I am. Unironically. There's a few papers on my desk, but I have enough room to work. This is the Miles Conference coming into this week. As you can see, it's week 15. These were the standings after week 14 at the top. It's a close fight between the Merseyside Mimikyu and the Buckingham Bonsly. Do not forget that they do play each other in the final week of league play. There are 2 remaining after this week. And it's a very, very close matchup between the Gloucestershire Gallade and the Stockmarkness Starmies, of course. They due to play each other. Did they play each other last week, or did they play each other this week? I actually do not remember. They play each other this week. Oh, it's exciting. I just saw they both had the same matching records, so there we are. The Multicoon Mimes at 9 and 5. Ponyta also at 9 and 5. It is awfully close, but the team on everyone's lips right now is the Yorkshire Yanma on a 4-win streak, as well as the Red Hill Regirock cooking up just the same. They're going to struggle for the Mon difference, mind you. Going the other way, trying to high-five them on the way down as a Super Hoopa on a 5-loss streak. Not ideal. The Amsterdam Sagron, we thought it might have been their season, but they're finding themselves on a little bit of a slide, and they found themselves back to their best friend, the Bradford Bulu, who are climbing now, so we could see them touch tips this week as well. How you doing, Emu? Give me a full team of legendaries and I'll lose to anyone in this league. Yeah, that's probably true. Right. Every time I think my draft is busted, I do this. What do you think of the drafts that actually don't do terribly, Phalius? Because I don't know what it is. But this has not been the Litwicks season. It really hasn't. And I don't know why so many people are, you know, convinced it was going to be. You know? I mean, maybe that's a bit mean, but for those of you who weren't here last week, it is worth checking in. Maybe we'll do this every week towards the end, of what the average community prediction was. Nelson with the 20 months, coach of the Super Hoopa. Is there going to be a change in the Hoopa's fates? Because you need to turn things around to stay in this playoff race. 20 months.
Happy 20 months, sir.
That was well read. Thank you for the 20 months. How are you doing? As a reminder, this is the standings of the Miles Conference right now. The predictions on average from the community pre-season were these. I'll bring them up for you, though. Do bear in mind that, of course, the Newcastle Norse have since dropped out. Yep. Average predictions had the Leeds Litwicks in 8th. which is impressive. Even more impressive, really, is the chain of teams right here. The Nottingham Noivern, Ponyta, and Bonsly Mimes, who are currently all in that playoff margin. Cannot be said for, of course, the dropping out of the Newcastle Nimbles, the Leeds Litwicks, the Ariana's Altarias, and those are the three, of course. There you are. Okay, so we've got some fixtures this week from the Miles Conference. And it's a big fixture. We're opening up with the Merseyside Mimikyu against the Leeds Litwicks. Is this confirmed Shitwick season, or are we going to see a little bit of Litwick spice and have them upset the team currently at the top of the conference? Certainly the teams chasing the Mimikyu would like that. But the Mimikyu would certainly like to put a win on the board, because that would put huge pressure on the Buckingham Bonsly to stay within touching distance of them with 2 weeks to go. So much for all the games being done. Yeah. Cotswold Clefairy, Amsterdam Zagront, booted. You know, I've seen on Rise Wall they keep a chalkboard. They don't use chalk for it. They just scratch their nails into it, and it's like a kick mark system of how many times a team has had a late replay. So they know absolutely everything in terms of how much you hold up the flowing of the league, and therefore, should the time come for removal of a franchise, you're gone. So we've also got the Red Hill Regirock against the Bradford Bulu. I mean, realistically, you've seen all these matchups for the past week on the sheet. We talked about them last week. Why not get stuck into them? Let's get stuck into them. What am I to expect out of this? My capture appears to be very broken, so I will attempt to show it. There you are. Hey, it's working. Nice. Okay. Expect Latios to go brrr. Latios does usually go brrr, but not against an Aegislash. It's a pretty decent answer to it. Wouldn't want to Earthquake it and proc a weakness policy. Aegislash definitely appears to be the danger mon, though Greninja's going to certainly put a stop to that, and it doesn't have a good time setting up against Mandibuzz either. So there's that. Medicham's just depressed. It's outsped by Kartana, Greninja, and Latios. The Silvally could certainly prove some tricks. What's the pink mon? What's this? Lorantis. I don't know what it does. I assume it's just bad Serperior. Piloswine is there. I don't know what the switch-in is for Kartana. I guess it's probably not running Aerial Ace. Can Lorantis run defensive? It's slow. I guess it probably can. So we'll see. Nidoqueen also a threat as always. We'll see though, because this is failures. It doesn't matter if it looks like he's got an iffy matchup turning on. He's here to make the plays, and he's here to have an impact. We've got Hydreigon opening against Kartana, who switches out immediately, fearing the Scar Fire Blast, of course. Draco Meteor drop, no items revealed for sure so far. We see Tailwind, Brave Failures. Didn't care, stayed in turn 1. I don't know what the Tailwind is going to do. I'm getting Moltres vibes right now, but no U-turn out either means I thought a free U-turn for Mandibuzz, but Mandibuzz running Whirlwind because of the Tom Pass of the likes we've seen out of the Litwicks in recent weeks. Oh, foul play. Going to hit the Aegislash for less than I expected, but it's in shield form, and there is the weakness policy. But this is not the time of which I think that, yeah, foul play won't mind about the attack drop. Aegislash, can it really break through Mandibuzz? I doubt it. I mean, look at the damage thanks to foul play after the weakness policy. Rock Slide still does nothing. Hang on. Weak Armor Mandibuzz to outspeed Medicham after getting hit once, I think. That's pretty flipping cool. Although it's now got them as half defense, and they can actually die to Shadow Sneak, I think. Yet Phalis doesn't go for it. He doesn't have Shadow Sneak. Gets another foul play off miraculously. And now he's going to go for Shadow Sneak. Okay. Right. Oh, the Rocky Helmet gets the kill, actually. That's huge. That's huge. Could have been a massive Shadow Sneak going off against probably the Greninja. break any potential slash. I guess substitute Kartana on the Hydreigon, who breaks the sub with the Draco Meteor. As we see a switch into the Lurantis. How well does it tackle this thing then? Sacred Sword. What type is Silvally? Because this Kartana is a massive problem. And Phalis doesn't really have anything for it. He goes Metachamp, but why? Fake out into... Silvally says it's normal. Fairy Silvally. Just click Leaf Blade and it dies. Well, I think this battle's over. Sub, Life Orb, Kartana. Very nice. I don't know if it needed to be Sub or Life Orb. I think it would have picked up all the kills anyway. It's 5-0 to the Merseyside Mimikyu. And they will very much stay at the top of the conference. And that Mon difference really going to try and keep them there as much as possible. So be it. That was, I think, a bit of a brain fart. Lurantis did well. Lurantis did dog shit. What was the plan for Kartana, Alias? What was the plan? Was you planning to have full health, Lurantis, in? I guess it would have lived a +1. I mean, the Rocky Helmet on Aegislash really made huge dividends, to be fair. But then the Kartana was going to come in later anyway. So I don't know. Oh well. Moving on to our next battle is the Bradford Bulu against the Red Hill Regirock. Well, if the Bradford Bulu want to try and have a chance of reuniting with the Amsterdam Sagron, well, they're going to have to win this. Right now, the Red Hill Regirock are very in form after those mid-season trades. So let's see how Tim and the Bulus handle that. We see the Sneasel coming to the party as well. Such speedy and technical support with the Whimsicott as well. Very awkward mons to deal with. Baby Weavile and Whimsicott. What is a Red Hill? Red Hill's pretty big right now on the screen. Okie dokie. Nice. So, we got Tim here on the near side with the Bulus. He's got the Houndoom, Metagross, Seismitoad, Kyurem. Pretty standard bring for him thus far. No Aromatisse today. Understandable into a Mega Scizor and Heatran and a Toxapex and a Gligar. Ew. Unfortunately for Mega Sableye, it gets pretty much shut up for the most part by Heatran, unless it's going to try and Carmine bravely in its face. But I can't see that working. Actually, Carmine Mega Sableye could do work here, but then again, Sword Dance. Scizor, not easy to beat. We'll see. Here's Metagross. Yo, what's up, Bobby? 9 months. Twitch baby, indeed. What has we got here? Does Metagross get Fire Punch? Well, it's been taking that knockoff very well. Light Clay. Sets up the Reflect. But it's only going to last 5 turns because of that smart knockoff from Finchy. Do we see the U-turn? Probably. Yeah, it is. Houndoom not happy about that because in comes Toxapex. And what's Houndoom going to do? Weakness, Policy, Nasty? Never mind. Switch forced to the Seismitoad, but you've got to remember there's no Toxic Spikes block on the Bradford Bulu side, and if Finchy's running for it, he's definitely going for it. Or no, he's not. He's scouting damage. Tim with a habit of slapping choice specs on big, bulky water types. Toxic Spikes are there. Everything's going to be poisoned, barring the Landorus and the Metagross. So, car parts. Tim been streaming a bit recently. A burn does come through on the Toxapex, but I feel like this isn't a favourable trade for Tim. Asleep on Source of Justice. Yeah, that was painful, actually. We got the monologue again tonight. I'm kind of sad because I can't do Wednesdays, and I actually might not be able to do next Wednesday either. In fact, we might only have 2 sessions left the next 2 Mondays. We'll have to see in terms of availability, though. We've also got another open qualifier for UR on Thursday and Sunday as well, so... Got to figure things out. The Leech Seed is draining down this poor Metagross, and Finchy is barring the rocks that are up and a burn on his Toxapex. Completely untouched. Huge U-turn from the Sableye. And Tim has to try and look at getting some kills, but it's so hard to get any kills against a core like this right now. The battle looks pretty over. Albeit 6v6 still. Back into the Scizor. The recover was forced. I'm going to go to normal speed. Scizor not letting itself be Will-O-Wisped. Tim doesn't predict the U-turn into the Heatran, and Finchy probably thought it would be predicted, so simply went into the Whimsicott to apply more pressure with the Moonblast. Anyway, the U-turn does not kill the Sableye, and Recover goes off again, although Toxic is really building up. Gets the Shadow Sneak off before it goes down, which after Rocks coming in again, Scizor will at least be relatively low. In comes the Whimsicott. Houndoom believes it can live, gets tricked, but Prankster, it's a bit of a misplay from Finchy, but then the Hidden Power Ground predicting the Heatran switch, understandably. As then the Z comes out, and a Z fire into the Toxapex. It's all really unfortunate for Tim in terms of the move clicking. The Hidden Power Ground fails to break through the Toxapex with any noticeable damage. I'm assuming this might be a Scarfed. Not Scarfed, it's Z fire. What am I saying? Either way, it does not lack the hitting power. It does not possess the hitting power to break through this Toxapex. Refresh on Big Jim. Oh, refresh Seismitoad. Doing bits. Getting the earth power. Oh my goodness. Protect. Oh, refresh, protect Seismitoad. Getting the kill. Big Jim. I don't know what the justification was for that set, but my goodness, did the perfect scenario for it just open up. And however, a Protect will block the U-turn. Thought there might have been a Roost coming through. It's a 25% chip. A Scald will come out on the Seismitoad again. Big Jim proving an issue that Finchy's going to have to deal with. Doubles into the Gligar on the Earth Power. Isn't read by Tim. There's another U-turn just chipping this Mon down. There's a Scald again. Free for the Toxapex to come in for. Finchy just playing mind games with Tim at the moment. As Tim then over-predicts for the Scald. Finchy knowing he can just click Recover. Just needs to try and get himself that switch out. Goes into Heatran now of all Mons. Is holding a balloon. But gets the Scald to the face. Surprisingly, Heatran not there being kept for the Kyurem, who could now be a threat. A Scald doing a lot of damage to Heatran. Landorus is in. There could be some more damage here, but the main Mon, of course, is the Gligar. Blocks the Earthquake spam. Earthquake's going to kill the Scizor as well. Sneasel has got a lot of work to do. This is going to be a lot closer than I thought. Gligar goes back up to full HP. Earthquake chipping away. There's no Ice Punch from the Metagross, which clicks Light Screen over Reflect. That's surely a misclick. Sneasel, certainly a physical attacker, as is Gligar. The U-turn into the Kyurem. It was a misclick. They're both Psychic-type moves, Reflect and Light Screen. Toxapex is going to come in, but what item is the Kyurem? That's a big question. Has the Ice Beam. No Life Orb or anything revealed. Also needs to hit with the Fusion Bolt. Has the Fusion Bolt. Hits for over half. As Finchy goes for the Scald over the Recover. So now he's got a bit of a decision on his hands. He will double it into the Gligar. Is it predicted? Zen Headbutt to cover the play. But Kyurem is being chipped down. Fusion Bolt predicting the switch back. But it's not to be. Gligar too expendable. Sneasel. I mean, Sneasel might not cover off the Landorus if it's Scarfed. Kyurem stays in and lets the Toxic take it down. Landorus is in. Facade on the Landorus. Sneasel is in. Ice Shard one-shots. Never mind, with the Life Orb. As it's a 2-0 win for the Red Hill Regirock. The Bradford Bulu made that close. It was very interesting in the latter half. 44 turns. A good battle. The Red Regirock's win streak will continue. They are now, from right in the depths of the Mars Conference, have climbed back up to a positive record. New avatar? Yeah, I figured I'd change my Twitch profile picture because it's been the same since literally first year of uni. But if you don't like it, I'll change it back. Since I don't mind. This team right here, the Portishead Ponyta. Five win streak. The music eerily stops. I shall fix. Whoa. You got to remember that the Red Regirock were actually predicted to do relatively strongly as well in the pre-season predictions, at least compared to their previous seasons. You start to see why. Alright. What is their Ponyta against the Ariana's Altarias? This is the game for the Altarias. They've got to turn this around, and they haven't brought a ground type. Is it GG? I'm honestly inclined to think so. I mean, the Ferrothorn and the Rotom are okay for this. This is optimistic. Do the Altarias even have a ground type? That's my question. I mean, this seems like an understandable choice in case they have a Quagsire. Okay. I guess they're just fearing the spam of Grass Knot, ultimately. Not their easiest time. There is a Roserade, which is actually fantastic. Roserade is amazing for Coco. I guess not really if it gets U-turn spammed, and it's not like the most amazing one against Mega Pinsir, that's for sure. Not an easy matchup. But I don't know how the Altara is going to do this. I don't know how. We'll see. Right. So I wonder if Harry is going to open up Coco and click Volt Switch. If he has it, he will, but if he doesn't, that's because it doesn't have Volt Switch. It's Fortress for the hazards. Rotom in. Nice from Ariana. Gets the early Volt Switch damage off. Surprising, actually, that didn't just stick in to get the defog off. But maybe it doesn't have the defog. Maybe it's not running the defog. As Toxic Spikes will go up as well. Rocks are trading on the other side. Is the double back to... Not the double. Spikes going up as well. Now the double back to Rotom to block. No. Iron Barbs. No Rocky Helmet. More Spikes lane. Leftovers continuing to heal the Fortress. As the Fortress will Volt Switch out. Volcanion is in. Those rocks do go up again. Flamethrower kills. And down goes the Ferrothorn. The most important mon for blocking all these switches. And I think Ariana probably expected the prediction from Harry. Defog now getting away with them hazards. So surprised that it's Defog Rotom and didn't actually stay in turn one. Gets chonked by the Steam Eruption. In comes Scrafty to take said Volt Switch. And it's Heracross who comes in. Probably looking to set up a sub. Harry will know this, but can Scrafty even break the sub is the question. Fortress is going to come in. It is Substitute. So well enabling of Mega Heracross, who's trying to stay unmega to get that Moxie boost. But here it comes. Swords Dance straight up. Can Fortress break the sub? It sets rocks. Okay. Issue is that everything outspeeds Mega Heracross, and there is a Mega Pinsir in the back, so there's no way it can actually go Mega Ham, but it can claim 2 kills, which is a big play from Ariana. Coco looking for the Volt Switch out into sack the Scrafty, I guess. Or Dazzling Gleam going to sack off the Coco. Rock Blast will take it down. And that's nice from Ariana. Raichu coming in to try and make the most of its timing. As down goes the Heracross. Rock still up though. Persian going to come in. Takes the Thunderbolt. Does not take the Thunderbolt. It hasn't got the special defense for it. Kyurem probably could have taken one hit. Rotom actually dies to rocks. From 13%. That is really unlucky for Ariana. You could not have known unless they literally checked the individual HP values. Focus Blast hits. The Spark Stoke Surfer boy is too fast. Raichu doing work. And Talonflame is obviously outsped. It is 4-0 to the Portishead Ponyta, who continue their march up the conference. And the Altarias are, barring a miracle, out of the playoff battle. Really. One of the first true casualties of it, after being predicted to be 4th in the conference. It's a shame. Mid-season trades. Yeah. Yeah. Mid-season trades. I actually can't remember the specific mons. No more Mega Lopunny, no more Tentacruel, no more Zygarde 10%, and no more Lycanroc. Obviously only Lycanroc midday. But in came Kyurem and Mega Heracross. And like Roserade? Or Quagsire, was it? I actually don't remember. It was Quagsire, I think. Okay, 16-turn battles. We do love it. Is that a thing? Is 16-turn battles like a trend? Okay, it's the time, it's the time, it's the time, it's the time. The Fish Pond SuperRods are entering the arena. It is the same 6 as previous week. Levi is not capable of reading a ping. And Nelson, the Super Hoopa, are not in a bountiful run of form. Therefore, they will either be very happy or worried to be facing the Fish Pond SuperRods right now. Can they catch them out? Here we go. This is the SuperRods time. They have, unfortunately for them, a Magmortar against them. He was so difficult to find a switch into, though Latias should be a pretty good gamer for it. Bronzong, though, the switch in for that. Bronzong was quite happy in front of Cresselia as well. There's a lot of work to be done by Zoroark. Only the one Dark-type resist in the Liepard, who's not the bulkiest mon, so this could certainly go either way. We see Latias on the opener as the Tornadus knows it wins all the speed ties. Breaks the sash of the Zoroark of all mons. Straight off the bat, in comes that Liepard. As Zoroark goes for the Hyper Voice. Okay, hits for a lot of damage. As Cresselia comes in on the Fake Out Liepard. Fake Out, of course, pretty good for stalling turns of Trick Room, so an understandable brain. Pretty cool. And Trick Room does come out. Here is the Bronzong. Never mind, it's gone. The Slowbro is in. As Cofagrigus comes out. Sigmund will be happy with that. Hits with the Energy Ball, but it only does 44%. As... I've never seen this before. Fucking ends Trick Room. No more 3 turns left. Nelson untrick rooms. That's how much he knew Sigmund will be bringing Trick Room. Holy alpha Nelson. Actually just shuts down Trick Room. Shadow Ball hits for 38% as Toxic goes on to the Cofagrigus. Cofagrigus is definitely a mon that Nelson clearly wants to get rid of. Light Screen up from the Bronzong is going to really help it live. Shadow Ball, not the choice. An Energy Ball predicting, I guess, the Liepard. Really just an overplay, really. Shadow Ball always going to hit everything. Disable. But the screens are up. As we see a switch into the Tornadus behind the screens as Toxic wears down the Cofagrigus. The game slipping from Sigmund and the SuperRods. So we see a Heat Wave chunk the Aggron thanks to the Life Orb. And a U-turn predicting a switch probably into the Cresselia, but Sigmund stays in. He doesn't mind. Knowing that he lives another Heat Wave as he doesn't Mega to get the Steel type. Although with Filter, I think it would probably still have lived anyway. Maybe trying for that Heavy Metal, Heavy Slam. Double the weight. But Slowbro eating that up comfortably. Hard switch into the Mamoswine. Gets Energy Balled for its efforts. All the energy balls this game. We see the Icicle Crash connect. Tickles the very, very bulky Cresselia. As Moonblast does get the Spatak drop, as typical. So you switch back into the Cofagrigus, and I will say that 18 turns into this battle, there has been no KOs so far, surprisingly enough. Sigmoid again goes for the Energy Ball on the Bronzong. Trying to catch a switch to the Liepard is all I can think of. Reflect out, double screen set up by the Bronzong, who is doing a lot of work getting these up. Custap Berry, not enough to let the Cofagrigus outspeed, and it goes down to the Toxic. Toxic now put on the Cresselia. It's a slow but certain death, it feels like. Trick Room goes up. Are we going to see an anti-Trick Room Slowbro? Slowbro comes in, it wants the anti-Trick Room. As the Crawdaunt is here, but it's the Reflect. The Reflect's going to stop it. Slowbro outspeeds Crawdaunt. Doesn't get the burn on Scald. Knockoff would have needed to have crit. Rocky Helmet goes flying off. Knockoff going to do minimal damage as well. Slackoff goes first. As X-Scissor hits. Scald again, doing the damage. Does burn the Crawdaunt, who does 9% to the Slowbro. Only real remaining threat is that Latias. And Latias comes in. Scald is there. Does get burnt by the Scald consecutively. Light screen down now. The Bronzong's going to come in on the Energy Ball. Okay. I don't think Latias can kill Bronzong from this range. He's going to try with the Draco. It lives on 1%. Oh, man. Bronzong gets the light screen up before it goes down. It's closer than I thought. Energy Ball will get the kill, though. And we're down to a 5v5. Alright. Here's Magmortar. Double out into the Tornadus, hoping to force a switch into something, but Healing Wish comes out. Crawdaunt back to full. Aggron back to full, actually. I guess it's pretty important for the Mamoswine. As we see U-turn, forcing the Cresselia down. Maybe Cresselia is running a Lunar Dance and we get the double Healing Wish plays for the Crawdaunt. Because Crawdaunt is the main thing that can, one-shot Magmortar and whatnot. Oh, that is definitely Zoroark. Yeah, that was Zoroark getting hailed, not Aggron, sorry. Because Aggron wasn't on 1%. I just say what I see. Zoroark being healed is cool. Oh, Aguav Berry. It's a good thing I don't have to play against Zoroark anytime soon, right? Moonblast. Alright. Flamethrower does not heal the Cresselia. It does Lunar Dance, it does. This is not going to be Zoroark, surely. It is actually Crawdaunt. In now, threatening the Aqua Jet. Oh, I think Sigmoid predicted the switch to Slowbro. Which is honestly fair. Slowbro doesn't really fear. Because it's got its Rocky Helmet knocked off anyway. So I don't think Sigmoid could have really maneuvered that. It's understandable that Nelson... Oh, hang on a minute. Focus Blast hits. Understandable. Night Days gets the accuracy drop. And Focus Blast hits through that as well. Oh my goodness. Very, very cool. Alright. 5-0 it is for the Super Hoopa. And they finally level out of that loss streak. They will stay positive and they will stay in the race. But this might be the marquee matchup for the Miles Conference this week, it has to be said. And there's a Chatot I can see and Eradicate. The Chatot Raticate Showdown is the one I've been looking forward to all season long. Who wins? I'm ready. Level 20. Oh, it's level 20. Why is the Raticate level 20? That is a good question. Well, it must be some sort of fear set with Endeavour. Quick attack. Therefore. Unusual that it's level 20, but also it probably only needs to be level 20 to do the fear job, so why not help itself out with any other things, I guess? Could be very funny if Ditto accidentally were to come in on it and just trace a level 20 stat with Ditto's HP. That would be cool. Alright, well, we got the Zap Vaporeon. The Mega Beedrill is back. The Medicham has come again, understandably. It's a huge threat. Not just to the Mega Venusaur with Zen Headbutt, but also the Weavile. High Jump Kick. You would assume the Medicham is Scarfed, unless it is mainly there as a breaker or Venusaur and running like Sub-Life Orb. But if it is Scarf, it is outsped by Scarf Chatot. Although I don't know how Chatot is going to break Vaporeon. We will see if it can annoy it with Chatter. So what is this going to... Is it going to be Lead Raticate then for the fear? I would assume Lead Raticate. It is Lead Raticate. Okay. Excadrill opens up. What are we going to see? Rock Set. Oh, Rock Slide. Hoping for the flinch. Breaks the Sash. It is Sash. And Endeavour comes out. The Excadrill down to 1%. It's got leftovers. Now, that is unfortunate for Sniper, who was probably hoping to... 0%. You're probably hoping to quick attack. Well, the rocks have been set by Excadrill. Subson, unknowingly, running leftovers on his Excadrill, has just completely hard countered that lead strategy, and Raticate is now dead, effectively, as a sack. But it has brought the Excadrill low, and there's no Wish Pass or anything, so certainly very helpful. Actually a hard switch into the Zapdos, not requiring the Raticate sack yet, apparently. But probably should have gone for it, because Zapdos is caught by the Sleep Powder. Oh, no, no, no. Medicham in hard. As Weavile comes in. Wow, this could be interesting. There's no Ghost type for any switching. Ditto's going to come in to take a high jump kick. I don't know how well it takes that, but knowing how frail Medicham is, that is probably like a good 50% damage from high jump kick. Vaporeon comes in. I don't know how well it walls this. I assume it's got Protect. Doesn't go for it. Then Headbutt for 45%. Flinches Vaporeon. Oh my goodness. This is not Sniper's day today. Then Headbutt just has to try and get the Wish off desperately. And oh my god.
Unfortunate doesn't begin to describe my series. This game rewards blind luck and nothing else. I am beyond convinced at this point. After getting completely tooled by scheduling with my opponent, changing times on me last minute and refusing to provide confirmation prior to the day of the matches to play times, losing this way somehow felt even worse than I had thought possible. My preparation was superior, my play was superior, and I lost, so I don't see a reason to continue engaging in an AC.
I think we've been cheated out of a close battle here. It's a absolutely incredibly timed resub. Tailwind Beedrill. I guess it wasn't Scarf Medicham then. I guess it could also have been for the for the Marowak that's now dead. Could have been a cool tech nonetheless. 60 months from Sniper at 2-0. Life Orb Medicham has a roll to kill the Ditto. Wow. Is that deliberate as well? Running like minimum defense IV? That would have been absolutely insanely Chad if doing that. Oh my god. Ice Shard kills. Not deliberate, but annoying. Fair enough. Should be running minimum defense IV. Predicting that. And then just get one shot by Ice Shard. Icicle Crash will hit. It's a 4-0 for the Gloucestershire Gallade, who didn't choose their RNG, but the RNG certainly chose them on this day. And they will be able to healthily improve their Mon difference because of it. And it's a critical battle in the race for top 4 as well. And frankly, depending on the Bonslys, you know, they're not out of the top 2 race, but the Bonsly are certainly in control. They're probably focusing on trying to get top of the conference, depending on their week this week. The Merseyside Mimikyu looking tough to catch. Here comes the Morsecoom Mimes. In pink. I love the Mimes logo. I actually think the Mimes logo is one of my favorites. Oh god, here we go. Put this one on max speed. Why? Oh no. Alomomola and Mega Ordino. They're just going to sit and fucking jerk each other off, aren't they? Well, we'll see. There's going to be some critical turns, so I don't want to miss anything. I'll stay on normal speed. Well, no, I'm going to stay on slow. But I appreciate your warnings. Knockoff, lovely to get rid of the not Toxic Orbits. Yachi Berry Gliscor. Some very cool, janky stuff coming from Levi this week in this very critical playoff caliber battle. And indeed, there was no Goodra from Levi. Probably not really wanting to go against the Mega Ordino. Tried to force a switch. And force a, at least electric type move, if anything. Forcing a Volt Switch. Zeraora having to go for knockoff to break the sub. As we see Shadow Ball out of the Raikou. We'll get the Spadef drop, actually. Zeraora won't be too happy about that. Can stay in and go for the knockoff anyway, though. Kind of surprised it didn't, as we see a switch to the X-Cloud instead. Ordino comes in. Fair enough. How does it fare against the big boy? This is why you just click Boom Burst with... X-Cloud, as Fire Blast, ironically enough, hits in return. As it's definitely specs X-Cloud, as you may expect. Fire Blast does minimal. But of course, Ordino, we know, can get Ice Beam. Roost, rather than the U-turn, wants to stay healthy. Is Ordino got it? It does. Does. Oh, fair enough. No Freeze Beam today. U-turn can go out. Or not. Stealth Rocks. Ordino probably predicting. It's actually a really nice ballsy play by Levi there to get them rocks up. That's a really, really big play. To force the prediction, even though realistically he's only going to U-turn into the Alomomola because that's what's safe. It's hoping for an over prediction once again, but Yeti not giving it. Will crit and freeze with the same Ice Beam. Levi was playing with fire when he just got put in the freezer. The crit was probably deserved, but the freeze was not. This Raikou will once again sub up, chipping away at this Zeraora. Knockoff gets rid of the sub. Shadow Ball there. Another drop from Shadow Ball. This one really mattering because Zeraora now dies staying in. We see the switch into the X-Cloud. Once again, Yeti chill. Just Shadow Ball still going to get leftovers recovery up. Surely we see the big high Boom Burst now. Actually staying in just to chip away at the X-Cloud. Sacking off the Raikou. Which I now realise is a mistake because what kills Alomomola now? Well, U-turn is there. To be honest, I guess just patience kills Alomomola, especially if Leech sees Celesteela. Tini comes in. Alomomola is here. The knockoff come out. Yeah, I'm just surprised not to see a switch into Celesteela. I feel like it's not very valuable this game. It's just a Mawile answer, I guess. But now it switches in on the Alomomola. And School does not burn. There's leftovers on the Celesteela. Probably looking for Leech Seed then. Indeed it is. Who wants to collect this wonderful wish? It's Aurora, of course. Is there an Earthquake prediction? No, but there is a Stone Edge trying to get the kill. Unfortunately, for Yeti, not enough. Might as well have Leech Seeded. As close combat will make contact, and an Earthquake rips it to shreds. No prediction necessary. Celesteela must have known it took a hit. Levi predicting the switch into Crocodile and just getting ratioed. As you see, the Z from the Moltres does 44% to Mega Ordino. Levi for the Tailwind. Tailwind Moltres strats. It's coming on. Although we don't know whether the Ordino has Protect yet, so I'm actually surprised he didn't just try to go for the break. Although there is quite the Mega Ordino breaker, and it is here. Oh, it's in on a Fire Blast, though. Oh, goodness. Morwile, low HP. Durant's going to come in. And Mega goes off. Big Iron Head. Durant definitely dead to Sucker Punch. Lomomola comes in, predicting a switch, potentially. Maybe it's not got Sucker Punch or Morwile? Well, Home Claws is there from the Durant. It's going to try and break the Lomomola, which is optimistic. But Durant does hit very hard. Goes to the Rock Slide and hits it through Hustle. Predicting a switch to the Moltres. But the Scald burns. And Durant is depressed. Well, it will get a flinch with the Rock Slide before it goes down. So there's a little bit of consolation. Victini gonna come in. Gliscor comes in, of course, being frozen. Bolt Strike. Pretty free, as this thing isn't doing much unless it falls. Alomomola now back in. Alright. The battle has sort of slowed down. I'm going to go up to normal speed. The Leech Seed. Eventually this Gliscor might thaw, that's the thing. You see Earthquake. I expected Leech Seed again, but then Yeti didn't want to give a switch to the Morwile, understandably. So we see Leech Seed. Now Levi probably switches, so Leech Seed again. Oh, he doesn't. Air Slash is the move of choice. The Gliscor going to be sacked off here. Oh, it thaws and gets the roost off, but, like, it's still dying. Victini is desperate for this thing to go down. Gliscor holding. Just. Levi just begging it does not get crit. Ordino comes out. And threaten with the Ice Beam and force a switch, but to what? The U-turn there. Moltres in. Are fire types immune to freeze? I actually don't know. Burn on Flamethrower. Wow. That is massive. For Ordino, who does not possess leftovers. Ice Beam. Okay. Moltres with the Roost for the second time. What is Ordino's last move, do we think? Just Dazzling Gleam? Probably just Dazzling Gleam, honestly, for the Gudra. But that means it didn't have Protect. And I feel like we've seen this from a number of players, not just Yeti. With how bulky the Ordino is, you can get greedy and not run Protect on it, but I feel like it's actually such a potentially battle-losing play. Like, if Moltres had stayed in after clicking Z and just Flamethrower it twice, would it not have just killed? These go fast. Alright. I mean, it can't be that long, can it? Burn again from the Scald. How many wishes are there left? 11. Okay. I mean, this is probably just going to be like 100 turns. We've seen worse this season earlier on, right? Leech Seed. Celesteela. And Ordino. Quite the backbone. This Leech Seed is a huge issue. I mean, it's Moxie Crook, but... Oh, hang on a minute. Hello. Go back. I want to see this again. So, the wish goes up from the Audino, and Yeti's like, how about you catch this fucking Fire Blast on the Mawile? That's huge. Flamethrower, though, putting on the pressure. Is it Protect on Audino? It is Protect on Audino. Okay, it lives. That's big, actually. Can it be broken? It's only down to 10 wishes. Whereas Loma has 9. Then, with the burn, Audino is actually taking more per turn. Especially with the added effect of Moltres putting on pressure. So, I don't actually think Yeti wins this. I guess he can turn it, but like how? This Moltres is such an issue for him. And he cannot get in Crocodile without sacking something. And Crocodile is just hardwalled by Alomomola. So I think Moltres is going to quite successfully, especially due to pressure, not that procs on Wish, because it's not a move targeted at the Moltres. But thanks to the burn on that Flamethrower, which granted at this point a Flamethrower was likely to burn anyway. I don't think Audino can do it, because the Roost is required so much less often. Is Flame Body? Fair enough. I guess for switching into V-Creates. Otherwise it would say pressure. Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter because Wish doesn't count as 2 PP anyway. So there you are. Yeti is stalling for a lack of content, not trolling for content. I don't think he can win. But he seems to think he can. Otherwise, why would he be playing? So I'm curious what he's got up his sleeve. Is this Crocodile something special? Maybe. Well, 84 turns in. Moltres isn't under any pressure. Ice Beam, I still don't know if it can freeze fire types. It can? Oh. Doesn't look like it could be frozen. It's a bird that's on fire. Tailwind even going up every now and then. Oh my god! We were just talking about this. And Ice Beam freezes. In comes the Crocodile. Holy shit. It's healed up. Alomomola has to come in. Oh my god. Crit on the Stone Edge as well. Yeti knows he's got his out. Has to Leech Seed. Jesus Christ. Gliscor is back. Catch this fella a freeze. What's Gliscor doing? Absolutely nothing. Has to just U-turn. So just Leech Seed again. Alomomola's back. Oh, an Earthquake is going to do fucking nothing. Leech Seed misses this time. And now Alomomola is the one under a bit of pressure because it's going to be seeded. And it's got such a ridiculously high base HP that it's always free low healing for the Celesteela. And the Wish wasn't up. So Gliscor's going to have to do his own healing now. So it is the different flying type's turn to apply some pressure. U-turn comes out. Predictive Leech Seed, not there. Stone Edge once again tickling the Alomomola to not death. Scald doing nothing because it's an Alomomola. Okay. There's only 3 Stone Edges left. Those are very important, although 16 Air Slashes are probably the go-to move now anyway. As we see the Gliscor, how many Roosts does it have? Only 6 left. Oh my goodness, Yeti is not out of this, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know how this ends? Just get it over with? I don't. I just looked at turn 107, Rye in the chat saying, truly one of the battles of all time. It is one of the battles of all time. It's just got a lot more interesting because of an Ice Beam freeze. That is 5 roosts left now. Leech Seed. Mola. Oh, there's a little bit of a risky switch. Toxic planted. Toxic is the last move on Alomomola. But you know what that means? That's 15 more PP. That's why you always make sure your mons have got 4 moves. Even if you only use 2 of them. Here we go. I score in on the Wish. Trying to save it some roosts. Imagine Ordinary didn't get Flamethrower burned. Yeah, but like, it was going to get Flamethrower burned eventually with how long it had to sit in front of Moltres. And then also imagine if Moltres didn't get Ice Beam frozen. So it kind of goes... And it goes both... Oh, in fairness, yeah, it could have been Toxic instead. That would have been preferential for Levi. This is why Flame Orb Milotic is so OP. Just ask Nelson. Oh, the Earthquakes are coming out now. Lots of Earthquakes from these flying types. That's an Earthquake. That's a Stone Edge and it misses. Goodness knows. That's only 2 Stone Edge PP left. I'm very surprised to see it used on the Gliscor at all. Only 1 Stone Edge PP left. What is the point? Levi's not even trying to bait it. With the Moltres. As Earthquake is out in 1. And there is nowhere near as much PP left on this Celesteela. It's only got 1 Leech Seed left. And there's 31 Stealth Rocks left. Yet he can't do this. He's out of PP on Celesteela. He can't. He's lower. He has no out on Air Slash Flinches either. Here's Alomomola. It has to be Air Slash Flinch to death. That's the only way. It's actually faster. It's actually faster than Alomomola. Who wouldn't creep the Alomomola? Look at the difference in speed. Yeti. Bro, you need to invest like 2 speed EVs and you'll outspeed this thing. Oh my god. Maybe Levi creeped the creep. Who knows? Maybe. But then is it really going to care that much about going before a Celesteela? It's not like Alomomola gets any crucial move off other than like Scald. Like Alomomola's just not one of them mons that does that. You know? It's the shittest Scald around. It's got like 2 special attack. I was relaxed. I couldn't put speed on. Ah, okay. You were relaxed because you wanted to be lower speed because of reasons. By the way, the Alomomola is actually cleaning things up because you were mixed attacking. That's why. Huh. Air Slash comes out. Alomomola. There's still 1 Leech Seed left. Are we going to see it this turn? I would imagine so. It's pretty dire straits now for Yeti. The Scald connects. Air Slash is not doing enough, Brev. Oh. 29%. But Gliscor has still got 4 roosts left. And I think Celesteela is slowly but surely going down. Levi, it has not been pretty. 152 turns at the moment to get this 3-0 win, an all-important 3-0 win that makes Levi far more comfortable and cozy in trying to get one of those critical playoff spots. It's struggle from the Celesteela. Oh, goodness. There it is. Oh, 25%. And down it goes to the struggle. Protect from struggle. Oh, no. 158 turns. And the Nottingham Noivern do it here for the enthralling gameplay that is the Miles Conference. As we have our final battle replay of the week here in Miles. And it's the Buckingham Bonsly who need to win to stay within catching chance of the Merseyside Mimikyu. Although actually, they could go 2 behind because there's still 2 games left. Although it might depend on Mon difference. And right now, the Merseyside Mimikyu are racking up the Mon difference. So who knows? I say that because the Buckingham Bonsly will certainly not be feeling comfortable going up against the Yorkshire Yanma, who are one of the most informed teams in the conference. This little combo they've got going on. The Yanmega, the Klefki, the Eel. Insane, potentially tier 1 pickable. Slap an AV on it every game and watch it do work. How much work will it do today? Honestly, a lot. It can knock off, it can Giga Drain, it can Volt Switch. That's all it needs to do. That game took 2 hours. Oh my god. Never again. You overhype the Eel so much. That tells me that it must lose this game. You've spoiled it. I thought Eel was going to put in work this game. Well, Garchomp and Conkeldurr are there, but the Hawlucha is there as a threat also. Although it's not too comfortable with the speed boosting Yanmega at times. And also Mew is quite bulky. If it's Spadef, Will-O-Wisp, it could be a very big issue because it can just break the sub. In fact, Spadef Mew is a big issue here, I feel like. Has to be choice tricked by like Rotom or Jirachi. Otherwise, it's not going to die. But then I don't think Icy's been bringing... Actually, he has been bringing the rock setting standard defensive Mew a little bit more often, so we'll see. Haven't done much to help Eel's status. That's because you're trying to be interesting with it, John. You're trying to run Coil on it, which is a throw. You just click Assault Vest every single week and just pick from one of the a million moves that it gets access to. You know? You see, people seem to start abusing Acid Spray Eel a bit more as well. That shit's awesome. This thing gets every move. It's insane. Watch it. If it doesn't do work this replay, I'm going to be really sad. But I believe in Icy. Well, here is Mew opening up to try and set things up early on. Goes for the Sludge Bomb, actually attacking Mew, but taken very well by Finny, who responds with a Hydro Pump. That is a lot of damage, though it's Leftovers Mew, so maybe that's actually like Specs Finny. Kind of weird, the damage rolls. Hard to tell the sets for sure. Rocks do go up as Jirachi comes out. U-turn going to pop some more damage on the Mew. You certainly can't be too physically defensively invested, although maybe it's just offensive Jirachi. I don't know. Hard to tell. We see Soft Boil come out as Rotom maybe looking to try and trick an item. No, it's got Leftovers. Okay. Sludge Bomb continues to hit. Can't poison through the terrain. As Defog comes out. Costly Defog for Vex. He doesn't feel like he's in a good situation, you can imagine. It is a free Volt Switch unless the Garchomp comes out. Volt Switch does 8%. That's Assault Vest. Look at that. Here comes Jirachi. What's it going to do? Flinch? Eel doesn't flinch. It's too good to flinch. Because it dodges! Knock off! Flamethrower! 55%! Jirachi gonna get 2-shot. Zen Headbutt! 38%. It's gone. It's gone. This thing is too OP in Draft League. 0 weaknesses. One of the best tier 2s in the game, undoubtedly. Well, here is the Klefki. Setting up the Reflect. Tanking that Earthquake. Draining Kiss does not do much, has to be said. Mudsdale not setting rocks, just Earthquaking away. We could be looking at Assault Vest Mudsdale, in fact, because it is indeed... Oh, Raw. It is indeed not recovering with any leftovers. Scald is a move from Mew. Doesn't burn. As we see Mudsdale Toxic the Mew. That's critical in order to actually break it. It's not Assault Vest Mudsdale then. Okay. You see Scald again, though there's no terrain. And it shows because Rotom gets burnt. Right. Is we going to see the prediction into the Garchomp? Or will it just be the happy Eel again? It's actually Sludge Bomb as a Toxic predicting the switch into Eel or Garchomp. Vex losing out. Mew getting the better of him. As the Reflect is still up. Prankster Reflect completely fucks Hawlucha as well. This looks rough for the Bonslys. I'm not helped by terrain anyway since it's levitating. Actually true. Actually true. I totally knew that. That's why I use terrain. Scald. Doesn't burn because of terrain. Reflect going down. This Mew does not care about the Toxic, it would seem. Does finally switch into the Eel, of course, who takes the Moonblast. 47%. That has to be Specs Eel. Specs Finny. I'm convinced. But that's okay. Thanks to the AV, you know it's Specs, which means Klefki just comes in for free. Or Yanmega does. This seems a little bit sketchy, actually. In fact, Vex does switch out. Looking to try and get Salazzle in. I'm surprised. I thought Finny could probably take one hit of a sort, but doesn't want to get Air Slash Flinch, potentially. Maybe needs to be saved for the likes of the Garchomp and Conkeldor. So here's the Fire Blast from Salazzle. Could have been Scarfed, but is now outsped if that's the case. Can Yanmega actually one-shot it is the case? Hidden Power Ground takes out the Salazzle. And that might be that. Icy Boy. Clearly on something this second half of the season. Hydro Pump misses after Air Slash crits. Oh. Oh, man. Mudsdale is here. Bug Buzz actually kills Yanmega. Such high special attack with the Life Orb as well. So often run Modest and get so much value out of it. It's Mono real problem. Obviously outspeeds the Hawlucha, which lives Air Slash because of the berry, and can respond with an Acrobatics to get a kill. Yeah, I know. Icy's built and played that well. As the Mach Punch clears things up. Big Conkeldor picking up the kill there. I thought it might have been a little bit close, but not to be. 4-0. And let's see what that does to the standings, because the Yorkshire Yanma are absolutely cooking. I gotta see this. The Merseyside Mimikyu could have secured #1 in the conference. Actually, no, because they need to be literally 12 ahead. No, they need to be 24 mon difference ahead to secure. They won't have at all. As these are the standings. Bear in mind we are missing a match from the Amsterdam's Aggron and the Cotswold Clefairy. But certainly in terms of playoff race, which unfortunately for the Altarias and Aggron, they are now out of. All the teams from 12th downwards cannot make the playoffs, unfortunately. But they still have games left to play and wins left to try and get. On the board, 5 loss streak for the Altarias. We just don't know where. It just feels like that went wrong. 5 win streaks of both Icy and Finchy, and yet still neither of them can crack into the playoffs because it's a 4-way tie at 9 and 6. Thanks to that battle between the Noivern and the Mimes, and also thanks to that, the Noivern are at the top of that stack with a 19 mon difference, superior in fact to the 2 teams above them. But Portishead Ponyta and the stock market Starmies, who themselves are tied, fighting for top 4. The Gallade will certainly feel a little bit comfortable for now on their own at 11 and 4 with a bit of mon difference in the bank. The Buckingham Bonslys will certainly feel the Gloucestershire Gallade roaring right up behind them as well in the fight for top 2. You think the Mimikyus might just have it, but if they were to lose their game next week and get wiped by the Bonsly, you just never know. Icy has gone from 0 and 5 to 9 and 6. That's an absolute Chad right now. I think I might have had Icy making it in 8th. I think I actually predicted the start of the season. I actually thought I had the Yanma. Actually, I want to check where I had them. Because I thought I was a little bit silly when you started at 0 and 5, and I was like, that's not so hot. I will check. What's up, pads? Where did I have Moin? No, I actually didn't. I had him 10th. Icy putting in the work. But as is everyone, Starmies actually on a 2-loss streak after a couple very tough games, but not taking either of them is not going to look good in the defense for 4th. Don't know who they've got left. The Starmies. It feels very nice to see the red away from the side of the Hoopas. Getting themselves to 8 and 7, but still an outside shot right now. To think that at least one of these teams is going to miss out. But then it could be more than one of them. It could be none of them if the Ponyta or the Starmies bomb out. But you'd think 10 wins, it should be enough. Should be. But 10 wins might be the number. Probably will be, in fact. So we'll see. With the next week of Miles fixtures being between the Gloucestershire Gallade and the Leeds Litwicks. Fishbone SuperRods play the Amsterdam's Aggron in a cool battle. The Noivern have a bye. They have a bye, and also the Gallades have a bye yet to come as well. So bear those in mind. The Portishead Ponyta play the Buckingham Bonsly. Oh, that's a big battle for the Bonslys and the Ponyta in their terms of the chase of top 4 as well. The Bradford Bulu are the ones who stand in the way of the Yorkshire Yanma. The Merseyside Mimikyu play the Mortacune Mimes in a critical matchup for the Mortacune Mimes especially. The Red Hill Regirock up against the Cotswold Clefairy. That would be certainly a fun one to watch. The Altarias play the Starmies, and the Liverpool Lytton play the Super Hoopa. Is not a battle we're going to want to miss either. Yeah. Not forget, of course, that Nelson, part of Team Smile and Wave in the monologue race, did name their rival Joe. After Joe rejected them to play with Team Any Free-for-Allers, who are also not in a very winning position. So there you are. That's pretty much the Miles conference for this week. Joe is like 10-0 versus Nelson in various draft leagues. Well, now's the time for Joe to, or for Nelson to change that. You know, this is probably one of the most high-pressure ones they'll have ever faced each other under, I would certainly think. I doubt it's ever been this close. So that's something to bear in mind as well. Okay, I got some tomato Lay's crisps, like tomato flavor. I'm kind of feeling like opening them, but also I'm kind of not sure. We should probably get ourselves warmed up and excited for the Superior Conference. So I might need to calm down for a second and actually take a small break because I'm that excited. The Fishbone SuperRods are pushing for a Mon difference record, by the way, at -61. That's not a great thing, but it is an interesting thing. Obviously, this is the longest season yet on record, so we're seeing numbers that we've never quite seen before, like effectively 0-14. Yeah, -61 is already a record. I've never seen 60. What's the highest positive Mon difference? Because you're at 46. There's been 50 before, hasn't there? Been like 50... I don't know what you finished on. More questions for the cahoots that I haven't been making. So there you are. Right. So, the God Tier Conference. Smiles Conference. Here we go. So, Smiles fixtures this week. 54. 54. 54 may be the record then. In terms of games we've got this week from the Smiles Conference, we are missing the Tampa Turtwig against the Enschede Entei, but we're only missing one replay. You know, just like the Miles Conference. Here is Joe's going to come back from Vengeance next season. I mean, Joe could come back with Vengeance this season. You know, all he has to do is make playoffs and he can win the whole thing. It doesn't matter what your league play record is, it means nothing. Just people remember it, that's all. We've got the Cheshire Combees against the Berkshire Bellossom. I actually need to open these replays, so I'm kind of excited. We've got the Leytonstone Lickylickies against the Manchester Magneton. The Belfast Blazikens play the Jersey Jolteons. Very, very spicy matchup. That might be the matchup of the week. In the Smiles Conference, the Scotland Samurott up against the Lincoln Ludicolos. The Ludicolos are having a rather respectable season, it has to be said. Our feature matchup, of course, the Bolton Boldore against the Plymouth Pachirisu with double featuring. I have no idea how we're going to do that and who's going to say what, but we'll figure it out. And the Appletuns against the Watford Wailords. We've got that replay. So, yes. The Appletuns in pursuit of top 4. The Combees looking to secure top 4, but they're still tied with the Berkshire Bellossom at 9 and 5. This conference is just so ridiculously stacked. The Torterras and the Jolteons are outside of playoffs. Alrighty. He returned to his normal form of just beating everyone. I mean, it can't always be the case, you know? It can't always. But, of course, in terms of the race for top 2 in the Smiles Conference, you've got to remember that the Deino and the Belfast Blazikens have yet to play each other. And that could be very, very spicy for the chasing pack of 9 and 5s as well. So that's something to bear in mind. I'm going to go fill up my water. Actually, I think. So I'll be right back with you in just a second. Might have to put out another ping just to let you know that the Smiles Conference is starting. Alright, we're back, and we are starting with the Berkshire Bellossom against the Cheshire Combees here. In a monumental matchup. Two teams tied on record. And this could be a very funky one. The X-Cloud has come to the party. The X-Cloud has come very much to the party, but it's outsped by basically everything, so I'm kind of surprised the X-Cloud has come to the party. But I guess it can always take one hit and one-shot something in return, so why not? Other than, of course, from the Mienshao. The Greninja, as always, as ever, is a threat. And probably put significant pressure on Clefable as well, though I don't know what Ash Greninja's physical attack is like if it's running Gunk Shot. But it outspeeds pretty much everything that isn't Scarfed either, so I'm assuming it Scarfs Zoroark. As that does also cover for the Azelf and can hit the Mienshao. Does it not speed tie with Mienshao though? Yeah, it does. Kudra is there. Very good switch into the Jolteon, but it has to be Scarfed to outspeed the Garchomp. This rather traditional, balanced, bulky team from Maddie. Certainly won't like this overwhelming offense from the Berkshire Bellossom. And say what you want about over-aggressive drafts and how hard they are to make work. The Berkshire Bellossom are at 9-5 with said draft coming into this game. Greninja's like, oh, it's like 150. It's like Greninja's like 140 attack. You took Marrakesh Vex. What's from the AI? You're a prick, bro. Who's winning? Alright, turn 1. Mienshao. In comes Piloswine. Never mind. It's Zoroark. That one a little bit easier to spot. The Scarf U-turn, I would assume. No reason why you'd risk it if not. But it was actually Scarfed Mienshao as well. Actually, turn 1, Zoroark winning the speed tie, barring, of course, it being adamant. Mienshao, that's big damage from the Seed Bomb of Gorgeist. Don't mess with that thing. It hits hard. As the Yawn is there. Seed Bomb just picks up the kill. Leftovers Yawn Jolteon failing to have any impact. Garchomp can certainly hope on a switch out, but actually, Gorgeist is going to stay in, which means it might be blocked with the Will-O-Wisp. Never mind, because it explodes. That's actually a sick play from Maddie, because now he's got switch initiative to go into the Garchomp. Bella subs in front of the Garchomp, the Piloswine, probably predicting Rocks, and Rocks is really what it was, but I don't think that Piloswine gets two-shot by Garchomp anyway. So, but it's wearing the Garchomp down, although realistically it's not that much of a switch in for many things either, other than just Azelf. So I think Maddie's very happy with the status quo right now, but the Greninja has come in. What is it going to be? Gudra is going to be the one to come in, and we just see U-turn. That could be a big turn right there, because Mienshao now in. Looking to try and force the switch to Clefable, but it's Piloswine who comes in. Maddie quite happy to sack it off, it would seem. Poison Jab predicting. And will get the poison. Could end up proving important. I don't think Bella's out of this, in fact. Bella's got so many offensive options, even though Maddie's playing this about as well as he can around the threats. Azelf will not fall to another Ice Shard. Azelf, in fact, is able to force Piloswine to sack itself off here and pick up the kill of the Flamethrower. Will we see the Scarf Zoroark come back in and just take a free kill with U-turn? You would certainly expect so. Well, Clefable is the one. And it's Explosion from Azelf. Clefable minced. Goes for the Calm Mind. Why wouldn't you just go Zoroark and U-turn? What? Huh? And now the Z Snuggle Forever. That's going to kill Clefable. Clefable goes down. And now Greninja has a chance. Well, Exploud is in. It's going to have to hit twice. I mean, Play Rough misses. Exploud's still going to die to anything from Greninja, though. And it depends what set the Gudra is. Mienshao's going to come in. This thing's Scarfed, and it's going to come down to a speed tie, in fact, with the Scarf Zoroark. But then Scarf Zoroark probably doesn't one-shot. But then also, does it switch? Do you switch to Gudra? To Greninja? High Jump Kick. Gudra lives, but it's going to come down to Focus Blast. It's actually going to come down to Focus Blast with Scarf Zoroark. Oh my god. Does U-turn kill? No way. No way does it kill. Here we go. Zoroark coming through. I mean, to be fair, Greninja might not one-shot it, but it probably does. It's U-turn. It doesn't click Focus Blast. Is it a calc or did it not have Focus Blast? Surf one-shot. Big blam blam. And in fact, the Berkshire Bellossom on the final turn are going to take this critical battle by the narrowest of margins. Maddie's too beta to run Focus Blast. I mean, that's fine. I mean, he probably had a move that he wanted elsewhere on that. I still think the battle suddenly tipped to the other way when Zoroark didn't come in for free to clean up the Azelf, you know? Obviously, when you then U-turn out, Bella will know that the mon that comes in isn't. We'll know that the mon that comes in isn't Zoroark then, but like, it's such a cleaner way of doing it. You know, even if, you know, it looked like special Azelf, therefore you might want to try and Calm Mind up in front of it while you have the chance. Albeit Calm Mind probably quite bold against a team like this. You know, that Azelf could still have then clicked rocks, which would have been a bit annoying, to say the least. I don't know. But it's not about that. It's great play from Bella to dig ourselves out of what seemed to be a sliding battle in the first half. We're chilling. We're chilling. It's the Leytonstone Lickylicky. And their battle against the Manchester Magneton. Their first battle, of course, since the smiting of their coach from the Discord. But they could still be out here watching the games, and we would appreciate that either way. How did their game go? Well, they've got themselves set up here with the Sun offense, as you would expect. The Kabutops continuing to be favored, which, why not? There's a Moltres that has been shown a lot of favor. Likewise by Raindrop and the Leytonstone Lickylicky. The Bisharp is back into the fray. Let's see what's going to go down. No Empoleon. Could prove interesting, but why not bring Elsagene to cancel out that Sun? Although the Sun is about to coming through, and in fact, Raikou's going to come in, hoping for a, I don't know what. Fire Blast is going to hit, and it's just going to one-shot the Raikou. And it's 1-0 advantage to Vinny. So in comes the Palossand, scouting the Solar Beam, or I think trying to bait the Solar Beam, which is very cool, because then the weather has been cancelled, and Charizard has to stay in. Very, very cool as Aurora Veil goes up. Solar Beam, I think Charizard's almost forced to stay in while it's charging, which is pretty sick, from Raindrop to get the free Aurora Veil up. Although, to be fair, Charizard could have default. Maybe not. Does so into the Kabutops, so it won't be too happy, because there is a massive Mega Gallade here. Probably going to go knockoff, predicting a switch to the Aegislash, or just clicks Close Combat and picks up the kill on Sharp Shelly. All right. In comes the Charizard. Zen Headbutt will hit. And Fire Blast will kill. As it tends to, whenever things don't resist it by 4 times. So Moltres, the one. Probably you would have expected to come in on Charizard there with the Aurora Veil up, but choosing not to. Get that Tailwind up. Does Chicken Tendies. Chicken Tendies loves a little bit of the cheeky Tailwind. Goes for the Solar Beam, in fact, of its own. With the Sun being up, very cool tech. Gets some significant damage on Levitating Larry. Levitating Larry, I should say. Could be a speed tie right here between the Charizard and the Moltres. Moltres does U-turn, in fact. Clearly not running Air Slash, which is a surprise when there's a Venusaur about. We shall see. Ancient Power, no boost against the Palossand. As we see Roost. We see Rocks from the Palossand. We do. And the Sun goes down. Charizard going to be forced to switch out. And it's Aegislash who comes in. You see Earth Power do significant damage on the switch. Pretty much knowing the switch was coming. Not predicting the Flygon. Flygon actually comes out this time. As we see Earth Power again. What moves does the Palossand have? Clearly no Shadow Ball. Or maybe it will. Earthquake. It takes very well. As we see Toxic placed on Levitating Larry. And Raindrop might be turning this. It's just that there's no natural outspeeders of the Charizard by, of course, the Ninetales. Venusaur also a big threat in the Sun, although it is in here without it against the Palossand. Gardevoir is also a Mon, but Bisharp should be able to keep it in check. Sleep Powder hits the Moltres on the switch. That is a big landing and off the move itself. Rock's going to significantly hurt Charizard, but is able to come in on the sleeping Moltres, who does stay in. Can take a couple hits. Probably not 2, though. I mean, 1. Although, actually, it's got Ancient Power. What am I saying? Moltres is just gone. That might be the game. Because Venusaur has still got some Chlorophyll to be used up here. There's Solar Beam going to connect with the Palossand. Crit. 1 shot. Although, judging by how well it took Flygon Earthquake, I think it might have been predominantly physically defensive, and that Solar Beam crit may not have mattered. Instead, in comes the Scarf Bisharp. Goes for the Iron Head and gets the flinch. Wow. Hidden Power. Bishop. HP Ice Bishop? Why did it outspeed? Why did Ironhead outspeed? Bulky Charizard again, I guess. We see Sacred Sword. Pick up the kill on T-Wave Bishop, which is a cool tech. As Hidden Power will chop away at the Aegislash, who goes for the Swords Dance of all moves. Maybe not running any Steel Stab. It's going to look to try and get some damage off the Shadow Sneak before it goes down. But it gets fully paralyzed. So now you wonder, can Ninetales clean up? I don't know if it can deal with Gardevoir. I think 2 Psyshocks are going to kill Gardevoir either way. I think we'd need to see a freeze. It's double snow warning on the field. Psyshock does do 55%. Here comes the Ninetales. Oh, does Aurora Veil, which is surprising. And it's down to 6% at this point. Freeze Strike going to connect. No freeze. It's game. And Vinny will take it with a 3-0 scoreline. Leighton Stone Lickylicky finding no remorse from the Magneton. And it's a big win for the Magneton. Nice 3-0. Keep them moving in the right direction. We have got the matchup between the Belfast Blazikens and the Jersey Jolteons. What have the Jersey Jolteons brought for Pudding and the Blazikens? Or anything like the Jersey Jolteons I know, they're about to 6-0 the Blazikens. Can they, though? Well, the Mawil's pretty hard countered by Magnezone, so not sure about that. Unfortunately, Kyurem is pretty hard countered by Primarina. Talonflame's pretty hard countered by Aerodactyl. Celebi has a good game, although it has to play around Weavile. Muck is pretty miserable with the Domfan. And Cobalion does outspeed Scarf Zone if it's Scarf Zone, which it probably isn't because it needs to make sure it's bulky enough to live a Sucker Punch at +2. But Cobalion also probably gets walled by Domfan. So this doesn't look like the nicest matchup. You'll notice that there's no Mega Latios due to the fact that there's almost certainly going to be an AV Muck coming for it. Doesn't break through Celebi that well, and also probably a smart decision from Pudding not to bring the Latios this game. And probably bad news for Atch as we see a Ombor open things up. Unusual unless it is Scarf. Didn't even get to finish my sentence. And it one-shots the Cobalion straight through it. Who knows what set that was. Reckless certainly ensuring that was nowhere near a chance to live. In comes the Kyurem, and it's a beautiful turn 1 from Pudding that only makes the Jersey Jolteon situation even worse. As you can see, Earth Power doing a respectable amount to Primarina, who is clearly running not full specially defensive then, as it took a fair bit. As a double, hard and aggressive, back to the Ombor, using it as just a bomb to do as much damage as possible. Flare Blitz, and it crits for 92%. The Jersey Jolteons cannot catch a break right now. They're being out-RNG'd, outplayed, out-drafted in terms of the pick phase. It's not a good matchup for them. It's not good RNG for them. And Pudding is not letting up one bit. The Sword Stance comes out. But Ice Fang just picks up the kill. Alright. Here comes the Celebi. Can certainly take one hit. Unless it's a Z Rock. Of course, this thing doesn't get Brave Bird. So I don't know what it was when I saw that 360 no-scope dancing move. As Psychic picks up the kill. Who knows if crit mattered there. Depends on the Celebi. But it is incredibly low health. The Scarf Ombor with no switch-ins. The thing's a monster. Here is the Kyurem looking for some consolation. Will Earth Power to pick up the kill, and Ombor finally goes down. Well, there's 2 kills for Atch, but I can't see him getting a ton more. As Muck comes in. Moonblast taken. 25%. Big old Primarina. Quite happy to hit hard. regardless. We see a hard switch of the Weavile in. Poison Jab. Poisons. I mean, pretty much think it kills the Muck from this range. Probably Life Orb. Icicle Crash. We're going to see a switch to the Mawile. We're not. Icicle Crash does kill. Is it Banded or is it Life Orb? It's Life Orb. But Weavile with just one hit left in it. You see the Mawile come out now, but I just cannot believe it's going to be doing anything unless it crits the Magnezone. That's the big thing. It's going to have to Swords Dance on this turn. I imagine it is a Swords Dance. Going to also need like an Iron Head flinch on the Dumfan, and we might not even have Iron Head on this Mawile. It's not often got the space to run all the moves it wants to. Sucker Punch. Indeed, the Magnezone lives. That's a dead Mawile. And that is GG, barring Ice Beam, Freeze Beam for the win. You see Primarina come in, saving them on difference. Donphan was eject button. That's kind of cool. Yeah, if Sucker Punch crit, you would have been always in a bit of a rough spot, but no reason not to bring the Magnezone as a safe, barring crit. 15 times out of 16 answer to the Mega Mawile. It's a nice 3-0 from Pudding. Cleanly played, and I mean, Atch was a little bit unfortunate, to be honest, but matchup-wise, it did not feel very nice. All them offensive threats were very neutered, and yeah, there were so many of them. Scarf on board. Not expected. And so we have our next battle. The Sussex Sharpedos. I've lost their logo. Where has it gone? Help, help, help. Help, 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 help. I've never done this before. I've lost it. Why am I saying the Sussex Sharpedos? You know what I need to do? I need to open a big logo that, like, the Fish Pond SuperRods. That'll save me. No, what? Oh my god. Guys. How do I... The Samurotts have evolved into a shark. I can't... I always used to get the Sharpedos and the Samurott mixed up, actually. It's kind of a tradition right there. Alright, well, I've had to do this to fix my horrendous situation, but thankfully it is a fix. The Scotland Samurott against the Lincoln Ludicolos. Okay, well, it looks like the same 2023 Lincoln Ludicolos side, although from what we've gathered there has been some changing of some moves some weeks, so there will certainly be a slight feeling of unease for the Scotland Samurott, who could really do with this win to claw back at the Lincoln Ludicolos, as the Lincoln Ludicolos currently sit above them in the conference. Whoop actually trying now? Well, if he's changing moves, then he certainly is. There's an Umbreon, in fact. Teko has brought the Umbreon, which is very cool. Certainly shuts down the Salazzle and most likely Reuniclus as well. This is certainly a battle. I'm so ready. My body is ready. The Azumarill has a huge impact against the Umbreon and Rotom, of course, in trying to break that core, although it needs to watch out for any Will-O-Wisping action. So that's cool. The Serperior has been brought back into the fray for Teko as well, who's clearly changing things up. There's no Gastrodon, who probably just didn't want to get smacked in the face by Azumarill or Leaf Stormed by Rotom, but also Gastrodon really struggles with Conkeldurr. So I like to see this Serperior. Probably Hidden Power Ground for the Salazzle, and actually could do a lot of work if it starts getting these Leaf Storms up. Yeah, actually quite a fair bit, although it might struggle with AV Conkeldurr if it is AV. So we'll see. Alright. Opening up, Serperior straight away wants to get going. And it's going to get the Azumarill as well. Dream scenario for Teko. Actually subs up, predicting the switch, and Loop doesn't switch. Loop just stays in and belly drums. Belly drums in front of the Serperior. What an alpha. I guess he's going to break the sub at least. We see leftovers on the Serperior, who is going to look to try and Leaf Storm away. The first you'd... misses the Leaf Storm. I mean, it should actually live another Aqua Jet, but that's massive because now probably Mach Punch kills as well. That's huge damage from the Aqua Jet. As Teko... My God. I don't even know what's happening. Does this kill? Oh my God, are you kidding me? Azumarill is gonna belly drum sweep after setting up turn 1 in front of a Serperior. Bullet Punch. It's slower. Aqua Jet actually lived by the Umbreon. Azumarill will go down, which definitely it deserved to die. Oh my God. A Rock Slide flinch! That's such unnecessary BM. And a crit on the final turn. Who is this guy? Belly drumming in front of a Serperior. And it works. Because of a 1 in 100. This is just... I feel for Teko. This was an absolute mutilation. Shades of 2 high jump kick misses in a row. But I think it hurts more because it didn't make sense. Oh my goodness. The Lincoln Ludicolos, through nothing but utter skill, in 12 turns, will take a 5-0 win. And that's like their 5th or 6th win of the season. Which is a record Lincoln Ludicolo season with 2 weeks still to go. Jesus. Right, well, whatever this battle is, it's not gonna live up to that. That is a once in a blue moon sort of battle. What we got? It's Flupkey against John. We have the Dien's Deino, who have a record 3 losses for them this season. Of course, anything more than 1 would have been a record for them. As we have the Tipperary Torterras as their opponent. And this is a sort of battle that if John wants a chance of making it into the playoffs, he's gonna have to win. Which, based on the current standings, is usually a bit of an optimistic ask. But he has got an eel, and he might have bring Assault Vest on it, even though it's not amazing this game, other than for shutting down Noivern. And maybe Special Hoopa actually could get a bit shut down by it. So we could see the eel put in work. It's also very annoying for Mudsdale. So I will always back the eel. As long as it's Assault Vest, that is. I don't want to see no Coil shit. Even though it's actually... No, actually, Coil just won't work because it'll get burnt by Sacred Fire. But if it's Rest, Sleep, Talk, Coil, Drain, Punch... then it will just get set up on and killed by Slurpuff, I think, is the way that looks. In fact, Slurpuff threat is major this battle. What stops it? Sand Rush Excadrill. The Sand will need to preemptively be up, though. Hitmontop doesn't stop it. Eel doesn't stop it. Suicune can live a hit, but is reliant on Skull Burn. And Silvally probably doesn't stop it. So, Scarf Latias, maybe? It is probably Scarf Latias, in fairness, for the Lopunny. So, as long as Slurpuff's low enough for a Psy-Shock kill, maybe we see. I'm a little bit worried about Slurpuff for John. I am. Well, Flupkey's hit. With the Lopunny as well for another massive threat, although Hitmontop probably the answer to that. Could go either way, of course. Entei very much shut down by the Suicune. I'm very interested in seeing what this Entei is doing. Because Flupkey's clearly got something in mind for that. No way would you bring a standard Entei into a Suicune that's coming every single week. Unless you just really think it's worthwhile for the other Mons. Well, here we go. Turn 1, and Lopunny opens up to get that free Fake Out off. And Eel is the first Mon in. Eel going to stay in fact. Takes 20% from the Fake Out. Not ideal. Thought the Hitmontop switch might have come through, but John might have thought that was predicted. As in comes the... Ooh, Giga Drain. Predicting a switch to the Mudsdale. I think John may be expecting Flupkey to predict his own Drain Punch, and they're getting a nice little bit of Giga Drain damage off. Very cool. The rocks will probably go up for free. Indeed, they do. Suicune. No, it's not for free. Suicune is in. And we'll force a Noivern switch. We could see it predicted, but we don't. There's a Skull. May not even have Ice Beam. Skull burns, though. John will certainly be happy with that. Yeah, at least Scrappy doesn't block Intimidate. You're right. Eel comes in on that Noivern and tanks nothing from the Air Slash, as this is insane. Eel now with a free move of some description. Going to get taunted. Why would you taunt that AV Eel? Volt Switch. Out it goes for free. As in comes the Silvally, which is actually Fairy Silvally, which is cool, I guess. Flame Charge? Flame Charge Silvally? Flame Charge Parting Shot. Sucks to be you, I'm out, he says. In comes the Suicune on the Sacred Fire, which does nothing because it's dropped, and a 50% chance to burn. Ironically enough, Skull doing a better job of burning than Sacred Fire. Toxic is there from the Entei, as you would expect, a little bit of a mix-up, but Skull does a lot of damage in response. And this has not been a hot start for the Ends Dino. Skull, in comes the Hoopa! As I imagine that Hoopa surely has to be majority special if it was willing to switch in on a Skull. Indeed it is. Psychic doing massive damage, but really not massive enough. Skull's going to come through again. Suicune just needs to be worn down. And the Toxic is doing a great job of doing just that. Suicune pretty much done for. And it comes back in. We see Excadrill hard switch in on the Hoopa, which could very much, well, not be choiced in hindsight, but it probably is, in fairness. It takes the Psychic relatively well. We see the Mudsdale come in as the rocks do get set up. Nice annoyance for the Entei and the Noivern, of course. Eel back in on the Mudsdale is taking damage, as a return will hit it for 24%. And that's the worry for John, that this Eel gets worn down. You won't give him the Giga Drain recovery as Noivern comes in. Very minimal healing there to be had here. Not that Noivern can actually kill this thing, but Noivern could go for the Defog. I imagine it might actually. It does. The rock's more of an issue for John's side. Less of an issue for John's side, I should say. Volt Switch doesn't kill. And Leander will live. Silvally is in. Probably looking for some more Flame Charge action. Air Slash flinches. And there is the sort of comeuppance trade of not getting Sacred Fire burnt. Although that allowed the Toxic to go on Suicune. And if anything, this Air Slash does not flinch. And there is a speedy Silvally out on the field, as it now, of course, has the ability to scare out the Mega Lopunny, which is pretty cool. We see Parting Shot from it once again. Switch into the Suicune, who will be likely sacked off to this Entei. Although, in fact, Entei might not actually have the ability to kill Suicune. Extreme Speed. It doesn't actually kill. As rest! It's got rest! Oh, no! I mean, oh, yes, for John, but Slurpuff is going to come in. It surely wants to try and start the Belly Drum party now. Sleep Talk, what's it going to get? Actually gets rest. And it's a big problem for John right now if this thing's going to start Belly Drumming. He outspeeds, goes for the Sleep Talk, gets schooled. Oh, my God, is it... My God. Sleep Talk gets the Scald on second try. But most importantly, that Scald burns. Raw from Suicune as well. What a play, Raw Suicune. That would have worked as well. If it got Sleep Talk Raw, it would have gone second. So honestly, I was about to say that John got very lucky. To an extent. But actually he didn't. He's running Raw on his Suicune. Which would have certainly taken one play rough, even at +6. That's just kind of an alpha set from John. He's been helped by the RNG, certainly this game, but he honestly looks like he's got this in the bag. Sleep Talk actually skips the priority check. That's insane. I guess that would have given Slurpuff a chance to get it off in response, but in reality, the play is that Suicune actually lived to get the rest off in the first place. Eject button Hitmontop. In comes the Eel. I think it might still die. Maybe not. Lucky not taking the risk, and Slurpuff pretty much useless to him, so why not sack it off? As Silvally going to get another Flame Charge off. I've never seen this Flame Charge do so much work. It's not even on a Fire type. It's on a Silvally, who will once again just chill and Parting Shot out. Eel back in. This Eel continues to be the perfect pivot. And it's just going to get a free Giga Drain. As Lopunny comes in. Gets chipped. And right now, Flupkey's looking for kills. Here is the Intimidate. Lives the return. As we see a fake out from the Hitmonchan. Hitmontop, I should say. Maybe expecting the Mach Punch. Flupkey doesn't care about the Mach Punch. He's happy to stay in at this point. And just get the Drain Punch off. We'll get the kill on the Hitmontop. John may be over-predicting a switch back to the Mudsdale, or maybe just didn't have Mach Punch. In comes Mudsdale once again. Gonna get caught by the Giga Drain. This Eel gives no fucks. 44%. 44%. It's just chonking away. Back up to full HP. What are you gonna do? Return does 26%. This Mon is invincible. Oh my goodness. I don't know if John can actually see this out for a 5-0 or... Probably going to get sacked down to a 4, if not 3. Lopunny is going to claim some souls, as it always does. Fake out. But it hasn't been running high jump kick many times. Flupkey certainly doesn't like to run the risk of it missing, understandably. Drain Punch is the move of choice. As we see, is it a Drain Punch in return? No, it's Flamethrower. All special. Eel actually was bluffed earlier in the game. Aggressively bluffed by John, and it paid off to perfect effect. As here comes the Latias. It's not Scarfed. Latias happily takes the return, mind you, and kills with the Psychic. So now it comes down to big old Hoopa, probably for them Scarfed Dark Pulses, looking for flinches, and potentially could turn the tide. This battle's not just done just yet. It is not done just yet. The Excadrill's here. I'm not going to play this last turn, as I need to continue this beautiful music. So... I don't even know if Hoopa needs a flinch versus Silvally. It might need one. Basically, also lives a hit from Suicune. So honestly, one flinch might be enough for Flupkey to turn this game. entirely. Dark Pulse, lived by Excadrill just. Does not flinch. No 20% hit. It's a 3-0 win for the Tipperary Torterras to stay positive and stay in the playoff race. They hand Flupkey and the Dien's Deino their 4th loss of the season. Their 5th loss ever. And what a battle it was. Oh, the rocks were still up. It really did come down to 1 flinch. Crikey. Crikey, Malikey. I kind of expected the Latias to be Scarf, but it was probably something else cool. The Raw Suicune and the Chatty Eel. I think Eel is actually just such a good Mon versus Flupkey. He really had a nightmare with it, to be honest. But it's bringable every battle, in fairness. Like I say, the Mon's kind of fantastic. We have just 1 replay left in the Smiles Conference this week before our feature matchup between the Bolton Boldore and the Plymouth Pachirisu, who I just tapped into Discord. I need to I'm happy to just start setting up group chat. Just hit Eel hard and it dies. Nope. We can't all just click Psyshock and one-shot it. Right. So it's the Arnhem Appletons against the one from Wailords. They come into this battle relatively confident, actually. Matchup-wise. I usually see a lot of weaknesses, but I was actually very happy about how I matched up against Bastion's draft, so maybe I was a bit led into a false sense of security here. I expected the Rhydon and the Florges to come to effectively shut down any Manectric happiness, so I ended up not having room for Manectric. But also kind of expecting a Spadesh like AV. We've seen AV Hydreigon from Bastions before, so like AV Earth Power. Some sort of special defensive Hydreigon. Which I now regret because my Manectric would have been fantastic here. 3 Volt switching every single time. Tornadus looks so good here. Tornadus is definitely the main threat of this battle, but it has to click the right move every single time, and it loses a lot of momentum every time it doesn't click the right move. I don't entirely fear it. At least what I'm thinking going into this battle is that if it wants to threaten Auroras, then it has to hit a Focus Blast. Nothing it does can one-shot Chandelure. And Mesprit also happily sponges it a little bit, wears it down. Assuming it's running Life Orb and not Z. Z is a bit more awkward to play around, but assuming it's running Life Orb, I just got to chip it once, and after a couple moves, it's basically dead to rocks. And of course, I can threaten it with Quick Attack Diggersby if I'm running Quick Attack Diggersby, which I can't remember if I am or not. So yeah, Tornadus is the main threat to me, and Terrakion, but that's the only thing I'm really worried about. Offensive, Arcanine is a threat. Wild Charge, Flare, Blitz, or even just Flamethrower, and Close Combat, big problem. Basically forced to bring Mesprit for it, not the ideal one. So yeah, Tornadus is good, but it's really not great. I think Bastions came into this battle confident, which surprised me. But he looked at the matchup a different way to me. I open up with Ferrothorn expecting a Scizor, and immediately I get met with a Hydreigon, which is not great. As much as I'd love to stay in predicting the U-turn, not really in my favour to just get Fire Blast to the face, so I forced into Finny straight away. Articuno is here looking to try and force us out with the Freeze Dry, but there's no happy switch-ins to the Articuno other than the Aurorus at all. But what I don't want to reveal is that my Aurorus is actually Scarf. I want to save that for the Tornadus. So I just Calm Mind in this Articuno's face. Which is optimistic. It's Life Orb, it hits the Hurricane, and it does a lot of damage. But this Finny is very, very tanky. And I get a second Calm Mind off, and Freeze Dry is at this point a roll to do less than Substitute damage. But I haven't revealed Substitute, and another Freeze Dry would take me into unsubbable range, so I fully commit to a third Calm Mind after I set up the very favoured, totally normal move Aqua Ring to help my recovery. At which point Bastions is just happy to try and break things down, but he doesn't realise that I'm going to get another Calm Mind up. And after missing that Hurricane, even after the Aqua Ring, I would have been able to click Substitute this turn. I get the Substitute off. He goes into Terrakion to try and break things, but it's too late. I'm afraid the sub is up. The Finny is +3, and this Terrakion has to hit Stone Edge to break the sub. Hit it, it does. Crits, but it's going to be taken out, and Terrakion off the field is such a nice release for over half of my lineup. And once again, Indigo Star, the Finny is back up to nearly half thanks to the leftovers Aqua Ring combo. Now Arcanine is going to come in. I don't think it could have killed in hindsight, but I actually switch out into Diggersby, expecting it to be offensive Arcanine. So I double back into the Finny, not wanting to scout out what this thing might do. Also covers off the Will-O-Wisp, and I was just wondering whether it would switch into like Scizor or Hydreigon. So then the Wild Charge again into Mesprit this time. I can't T-Wave because of Misty Terrain, so it's just going to be a U-turn party as Scizor comes in. Now Bastions has got to try and work something, but Ferrothorn is quite happy to sit in front of Scizor, although Superpower does do a lot. Bastions chooses to U-turn out. Just going to catch him some Barbs and Rocky Helmet. Understandably, he goes into the Tornado, so I thought about clicking Knockoff, but I kind of thought it might still be Z, so I just set the Rocks, as Articuno is in the lineup, so why not? Superpower is the move, and Diggersby lives on 1%. Turns out that was a 25% chance to kill. I was expecting Focus Blast, and frankly, I wasn't expecting the prediction. But Bastions was predicting the Auroras coming in quite rightly. And I knock off what turns out to be the helmet on defensive Arcanine for Diggersby of all mons, so I actually lose Diggersby. Bit of a misplay there. Yeah, but Scizor has close combat in Gen 9. Why? Why? Arcanine actually gets the Morning Sun up, which is kind of annoying. So I'm kind of doing nothing with this Mesprit, setting a future sight to bait the Hydreigon in at some point, which would be nice because that will allow me to get the Finny in. Scizor comes in for the middling turn as I get the U-turn out. So I go into Chandelure, but I know that there's a 100% chance going to be Hydreigon here for the future sight, and the fact that Chandelure gets pretty walled by it, certainly if it's especially defensive. So I get the Finny in on the Hydreigon, which is nice because I get some more recovery. As the U-turn comes out, I should probably have attacked or Calm-Minded. I should definitely have Calm-Minded, but I didn't. I just substituted knowing that I could get it off. Hydreigon wasn't scared because at this point it's clear that I don't have Moonblast, but you see here, Life Orb, Sludge Wave gets chipped down. Scald now puts Tornadus into Rock's range, and at this point, it's just about setting up the Auroras. Bastions has been a little bit unfortunate this battle. Misses another Hurricane, though it cannot confuse with the terrain. Scizor's going to come in, desperate to try and defog away so that Articuno can get in more easily and Tornadus can get back in. You see the Hyper Voice come through. I'm forced out by the threat of Bullet Punch, even though it's much more likely that it seems like he's going to defog. Or Roost, and defog it is. I should probably just click Stealth Rocks, but again, I don't. I think I'm a bit lazy at this point, and that kind of allows the battle to get a little bit sketchy. As I actually Leech Seed for some reason. U-turn will hit for more damage, but Scizor, again, every time it U-turns, it loses over a quarter of its health. Into Ferrothorn. No knockoff this time. I Stealth Rock. Chandelure in. On the Heat Wave. Finally called the move that the Tornadus was going to use correctly. And now I've got a Scarf Chandelure with Flash Fire. It's like Quiver Danced, basically. Which is pretty cool. So Arcanine's going to come in, but knowing this is physically defensive, it doesn't actually have any moves for Chandelure, so Chandelure is going to stay in and start hitting things. Flare Blitz, hoping that I would switch out, but it's not to be. It's kind of fallen apart a little bit for Bastions here. Hydreigon does inevitably come in, but actually still takes a fair bit from the rocks plus the Flamethrower. Leftovers healing it just that little bit. Ferrothorn comes in, expecting a U-turn, but actually it's Dark Pulse. Bastions, I think at this point, just playing for Mon difference. Aurora's in on the Heat Wave, or Fire Blast of some sort, and then Aurora's, which is actually Scarf, can click Hyper Voice to win. as the Stealth Rocks will put Articuno down and in range. So ends up being a 5-0, which was a little bit harsh, I think, on Bastions. But like I say, I think my matchup is actually quite good this week, weirdly. Not the battle either of us probably expected, but it was the one that went down. That means I get number one in the Smiles Conference mathematically at this point, with Atch still to play, so good to get that in and before then. But for Bastions, that's not great in terms of not just the loss, but it's a big Mon difference hit as well. As you can see, the standings we won't look at because we've got the feature matchup coming up. So I will get in a call with the two concerned individuals, the coaches of the Bolton Boldore against the Plymouth Pachirisu. I'll have to set things up. You'll have to bear with me as there's two of them. I think I need to get my head in and figure out what we're going to do. They'll have to send me the replay, of course, and I will see you when we are all ready to go. Enjoy the scuffed version of the music, and we'll have our first ever double feature match. Hey. I actually only unmuted you just as you said hello, stream. I'm joined by the coach of the Bolton Boldore. It's, of course, Icerdo. We're not joined by Flo because we don't know where they are. So we've just been having intelligent talks about how it's good news for Pidgeot that the rain might be up so that it can't miss its hurricanes because it usually has such trouble hitting them. But welcome to the stream, Icerdo. Talk to me about this matchup in terms of your schedule for it and the building for it and the prep.
So here I am. I'm looking at week 15 and I've got Darren in the fixtures list. Because my last three fixtures are Darren, Matty, and Pudding. So looking at the standings, this is probably the hardest one there. So I put a lot of time into building. Of course, Darren is a good friend of mine. We don't speak much, but I call him Darren. He calls me Mr. Icerdo. It's happy time. And then look at his team. Kieran Black, that's scary. Zeraora, that's scary. Pidgeot Mega, nah, it's not that scary. I can beat those easy enough.
Okay. I mean, in terms of Pidgeot switch-ins, I have to say, I mean, obviously you can outspeed it with the Ditto, assuming that it is Scarf Ditto and not something more funky. Are you just kind of reliant on specially defensive Politoed as your Pidgeot switch-in?
Yeah, I had Tapu Koko, but then I just kind of took it out because it was a bit bad the last couple of weeks. I just don't want it anymore. But it's fine.
Oh. Fair enough. I mean, there is, of course, the Volt Absorb Zeraora that outspeeds you, which is pretty sad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I just remembered something about my team. That's very upsetting, but it's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, something very upsetting is apparently befallen. I can see the channel point prediction has come to a close. Just out of curiosity, you have 69% of the channel points in your favor. People seem to believe that you are to win this matchup. Do you feel pressure? Did you feel pressure at the time because you have the superior record in league play so far?
Once I lost the loop and then Jaspy simultaneously, I don't feel pressure anymore.
Fair enough. You know what? Fair enough. In terms of turn one, do you have a planned lead or is it just click Politoed and get the rain up?
Okay. Politoed was the planned lead. It's got a funky set.
Okay.
Should I reveal the funky set?
What's the funky Politoed set?
The funky Politoed set was Wackanberry counter Politoed to kill the Zeraora turn 1. Which is very funky.
That's sick. But what if it just clicks Volt Switch?
Okay, I pressed a couple buttons. I know Darren very well, and he likes to murder things.
Okay.
So I wasn't worried about Volt Switch.
What if it predicts a switch into the Ditto and tracing of the Volt Absorb?
True, but my sixth sense, which has helped me out so far, was telling me it's going to go Delmise.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't get Politoed because I didn't want to get Power Whipped because Power Whip's hurt.
Fair.
So I forgot who I went to.
I mean, Wackenberry counter is awesome. Let's get the battle underway. It's a Zeraora opener, unfortunately for you, and it's all.
I went to Howlucha. Howlucha is good against Delmise, yeah. But not so good against Zeraora. So I've kind of stuffed it.
kind of forced into the Ditto or the Tangrowth?
No.
You stay in because you're alpha.
I stay in because I'm alpha, and I'm also something else, which is very
Sash?
fun. No.
I'm so nervous right now.
I'm
Scarf.
I'm rapid.
Alright,
Just
Scarf
like-
U-turn. Fair enough.
Then Cheerio eat rock, just like Tedder.
Alright, this is fair enough.
No.
That's a lot of damage with the crit.
But it's
Okay.
fine. Cheerio eats the rock, and he's living happy.
Get the rock slide off. You were predicting a switch into...
Yeah, Pidgeot, because Pidgeot hurts Tangrowth a lot. But
That's fair.
it didn't come.
Yeah,
That's
no, that's a
very sad.
reasonable prediction. I mean, I'm assuming this had Leech Seed and knockoff.
No.
Oh, it's AV?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's AV, yeah.
Okay. Fair
Actually,
enough.
it's not AV, no, it's not.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool.
I've come prepared. Yeah, it is AV, I looked
Alright,
wrong too,
cool,
but
cool,
it's
cool.
fine. Yeah.
No, it's
true.
good. You get a chip off on the Metagross.
Big damage. He went for the bullet punch, which I don't really see. But
Yeah.
I went for the knockoff.
Bonk.
But now I'm in Zen headbutt range, so I switch out.
Even without the Life Orb, you're in Zen Headbutt range.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he bullet punches again. Okay.
Fair enough.
So then my quick claw Ditto kills with Earthquake, which is Happy Days. So that went well. But you know.
Bro, you're running Quick Claw Ditto and it procs 1 turn out of 1. What is this? Why Quick Claw? Why?
Because I was like, last week I lost a Scarf Speed die on the Ditto, which almost cost me the whole game against the Cure and Funny Alert. But this week I can't lose a Speed tie if I've got priority, so it's Happy Days.
You said, I lost a 50-50 speed tie, so I wanted to make it 1090 out of my favour.
Yeah, for the boys.
Well, I guess actually it's not 1090 because you do speed tie as long as they're not scarf, so...
Yeah, it's like 55-45 maybe for Christmas.
Yeah, about that, because you got to hit the 2 different rolls, I guess. That's... That, you know what, that's kind of cool, because you can at least switch up your moves with that, and they're not going to... Nobody's going to expect that. So,
yeah,
that's fair enough. And the Politoed switching is elite.
He's eating the Heat Wave. I was considering saving some health for the eventual Zero Aura fun play, but I couldn't be bothered, so I just Toxic'd it.
You got Protect?
I do have Protect, because I'm quirky and cool, and no one's ever run Toxic Protect before.
I mean, this Pidgeot still feels like a little bit of an issue right now. I mean, you have the Scarf Holucha, though, so I guess it's...
And I have the Quick Claw Ditto, so it's all okay.
Yeah, you've got the Quick Claw Ditto that you've switched
and
into...
here it comes.
You're
Sometimes
tell
in
me
life you just gotta... It's
You
gonna
actually-
tank it.
No way you're gonna... You live!
Okay.
Oh
I live,
my god, what is this?
He's too scared of the Quick Claw Ditto.
I mean, you stayed in on it. You get the Hurricane Confusion, and now you can U-turn out because you're not choiced.
True.
Or
But I also
you
wanted some health,
Oh,
which is
yeah,
fun.
This is fair enough. This is kind of
Slow.
brave. In
No,
that
he gets the best RNG ever and goes for Confusion.
I thought he would set rocks up, actually, but maybe not.
Here you can see my epic play, which would have
Uh-huh.
happened if I had health.
Yep. No, I see that Wackenberry. Pretty cool.
Yoink.
There, yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Is it just
Rip
hard?
Slippy
I mean,
Toad.
Tangrowth certainly could have come in on this thing, but are you fearing like mixed with HP Ice or something? Or just I don't even know if
Yeah.
Zeraora gets U-turn. That thing takes Ice Beam amazingly.
Yeah, that's AV.
Yes,
And
it is.
I tried to kill it, but it didn't die. I don't know. I went for a quirky move, quirky and fun. I went for load. I went for Octazooka to get the accuracy drop, which didn't happen, to try
That's-
help him Mr. Power Whip. But,
That
you know,
is like a 30% chance to get the drop.
I think it's 50, but it could
Okay,
be 30.
50.
I was feeling lucky.
Nice.
And here's Larry. I'm so glad you traded him to me. He's such a great guy. Knock off. Pow.
Okay.
I don't know what Lagging Tail was, if only Darren was here.
I mean,
knock
Lagging
off.
Tail for the slowest U-turns possible. Doesn't outspeed the Tangrowth.
True.
That's how you get the U-turn after the Tangrowth goes, basically.
And there's Mr. Greedy killing. No,
Yeah,
he died.
This
Never
is looking a little bit sketchy.
True. But you know what
Yeah.
they say about sketchy?
There's no rock set by the Uxie, so you still have Sturdy Sork.
Yeah.
Scarf Stone Edge. Actually,
Bonk.
no Delmy switch. Okay.
I just let that loudest burp I muted.
Uh-huh.
That'd be great for the stream.
Plasma Fists. As it turns out, Flo fell asleep in their chair, which is shows how entertaining my streams are. As
Must have
you
loved the Yeti
actually
game.
get the it's probably the Noivern Mimes game. I'm surprised there's been no switching in of this Kyurem.
So, pause it after this turn.
Okay.
So this is a
Uh-huh.
Scarf Kyurem.
Yeah.
And it's got Terravolt.
Which one goes through Sturdy?
And also my Howlucha doesn't kill.
Not even with high jump kick.
No, it does like 99% max.
So it's gonna. So it depends whether this is a 2-turn outrage or not.
Yes. However, do you remember my last week match?
I mean, speed tie, yes.
I played Atch. And my Scarf Sork beat his modest Kyurem. And,
is this another adamant? Is this now an adamant Kyurem?
This may or may not be an adamant Kyurem who might about to be unalived. Okay.
Does Scarf outrage with Jolly actually one-shot Sork?
Yeah.
Wow.
It hurts.
How is Sork got this debuff aura that stops Kyurem from running plus speed natures?
I have no idea. I'm 97% sure people just see it in Showdown, they press recommended cert, and then they go, yep, that's nice.
So did you think you had kind of lost at this point, barring a 50% confusion chance, basically?
No, if you read the chat, me and Darren were 99% sure I was going to win. I was saying very sorry, because he's a nice guy. I really like him. But, you know...
But only in hindsight did you realise how close you were to losing.
I was talking to Alyssa that's saying I didn't want to do it, but then she was like, it's not over yet, and I'm like, yes it is, I've got sturdy Sork.
I mean, that's right, that's Rye's fault. They're literally quoting calcs in the chat. I don't know what's that about.
Wow, true.
You know, you had a chance to kill 6% with high jump kick, assuming it hit, so there's that.
Yeah, true. I should have U-turned and then high jump kicked, which is probably a bit safer. But
that's okay. I mean, if Flo is here, they are still welcome to join the call that they definitely have access to and defend themselves from this quite casual ending that you've managed to assert.
True, it was not casual. It was very intense with a lot of typing.
There's a lot of typing in this game chat. In fact, it's probably worth looking back on the replay when it's put on the sheet. Certainly at the end.
Oh my god, it's Darren.
Hello.
Oh my god, it's Mr. Icerdo.
The coach of the Plymouth Pachirisu. Welcome to the featured matchup for this week. We are... Oh, damn it.
Oh, let's go, baby. I'm so ready for this match. Let's get it cooking.
Talk to us about, because no one's seen this replay, try not to... What I will usually say is try
your
not
overlay's wrong.
I'm fixing it. What I will usually say is to try and avoid any spoilers, because nobody else has seen this replay. In terms of prepping for this featured matchup, what was going through your mind in terms of facing up against the almighty Icerdo?
True.
Okay. So, what went through my mind? Honestly, not Sork. That's my main upsetting thing. Sork wasn't there in my head. My head was empty when it came to thinking about that silly goofy blue fella, and I was so upset because he put in work. It was scarier than he should have been.
Sork did clutch up, but I guess you may have thought that Yuxi existing might have discouraged him.
Yeah, Uxie existing discouraged him. Dalmies discouraged him. Mega Pidgeot discouraged him. There were lots of things that made it so that Sork, just in general, did not feel like he mattered. And he didn't put too much work in throughout the actual game, which is fine. I respect that, but it still did good. Tangrowth was something that I thought I was more prepared for than I think I actually was. which is a bit of a shame, but it happens just because it's just so bulky. It's just so bulky.
What was the whole set out of curiosity on Zero Aura? Because I'm feeling like you were probably scared to play Volt Switch most of the game because of Ditto.
I don't think I ran Volt Switch.
Yeah.
What was my set? I think I might have. I didn't send it in chat because we were obviously not revealing it.
True.
So I believe it was CC, Plasma Fist, Fire Punch and Knockoff, I think.
Okay. So you didn't Fire Punch the Tangrowth at any point because it's so bulky and can return kill with Earthquake. I am curious. I mean, both me and Icerdo were curious about the Bullet Punch pressing. Like, is there a particular reason for that?
The only steel move it had is Bullet Punch.
Fair enough.
And its other attacks like fine. Its other attacks are fine, but Bullet Punch being stab obviously does the most.
There's more damage than like Zen Headbutt?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was.
But Zen Headbutt is also stab.
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head now.
We'll go back to again next week.
It's a lot. I've just come to the conclusion that it was Life Orb with screens and rocks. That's my conclusion.
True.
But also, did Yuxi have rocks?
Yuxi had rocks this week, and I wanted to set them up at some point, but there was never a great point for me to do it. I think in the end, I think I might have played a bit too hyper offensively, like considering the fact that both of us traded mons very quickly, and the only really slow mon out of anything was Tangrowth, which put in a lot of fucking work. Actually having the time to set up rocks and take that one turn on Uxie never really popped up when I could have U-turned instead to get the pivot back into going offensive.
Yeah.
So
that's
I mainly used Uxie for like, I think it was Yawn or T-Wave. I don't remember which one I bought.
What went through your mind when you saw Quick Claw Pidgeot?
I think the exact words going through my mind were like, "Let's fucking go, gamer." That's about it.
But then you didn't. Did you think U-turn would kill this Pidgeot on this turn?
No, I didn't. I regretted bringing my U-turn after that because U-turn on Pidgeot is like it's not much damage. It doesn't do much. It doesn't have. Its attack is fine. It is fine. It means I pivot out and it gives chip, which is quite nice. It's not necessary, but it is nice.
But it doesn't kill the Pidgeot
so much.
It doesn't kill the Pidgeot enough from that range. And then Icerdo manages to wriggle this health back up on this, thanks to a convenient confusion, of course. But this is
I mean, okay, my opinion on like whether or not confusion on Hurricane is lucky or not, I don't ever think it's like convenient. It's like it's a 30% chance.
That's true.
It's really likely to happen. My philosophy on it is like it is almost guaranteed to happen. It's just when is it going to happen?
Yeah. The all important question for me is you opened turn 1 with Zeraora, which prior to seeing the setup pre-game, Icerdo was hoping you would lead Zeraora. He would lead Politoed, and then he'd get the Whack-and-Berry counter. If it was turn 1, Zeraora into Politoed, would you have clicked Plasma Fists?
Oh, yes, I would have. I would have done the funny fisting time. I think that's only necessary. Plasma Fist is a great move. It's high damage. It's great. I love it. That'll always be like my favorite mon this entire run.
Lagging Tail was cool. Was this to go out slower than Tangrowth?
Hopeful. It was. to trick onto the silly, goofy fella that is Howlucha, and also for Swim. It was for Kingdra or Howlucha, lacking tail.
Or Coco, I guess, if it came.
Yeah, Coco was also good, but it wasn't like Coco wasn't. Coco's damage is like fine, which sounds stupid saying it out loud, but its moveset just isn't amazing for it. It's great typing and great ability and great stats, and it gets let down by its moveset, I think, a bit.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too.
All right.
I felt confident regardless.
Well, end of the battle did end up going Icerdo's way, so I guess we can have a look at what effect that has on the standings. And given that I've literally got a whole panel here with me, I guess you might as well round up the stream. You can just direct me to click whatever tab you want. Obviously, you don't have to talk about the Miles conference if you don't want to. But as you are both experts of the Smiles conference, I will let you see it. I will let you have a very intelligent discussion about your situations in the conference. Of course, this puts you flow to 5 and 10, unfortunately, but for you, Icerdo, it puts you still in that playoff boundary.
True. Should I go first, Darren, or do you want to go first?
Yeah, you go, Icerdo. Let's go, Icerdo.
I'm right now at 9-6, 12 differential. I'm with my 2 Rule 3-3-2 teammates in my division, which is quite fun. And if Cat wins, we'll all be 9-6, and if he wins by +1, we'll all be 9-6 and +12, which is fun. Realistically, like anything under Azazel, if Cat beats Luke, which I think is going to happen, but Luke is pretty good, so I'm not rolling him out. But if Cat beats Luke, then there's only like 9, 10th, 11th who can play for playoffs, which is a bit sad. But you know, we are the best. We are so high in the air. Loop's just cool. When I grow up, I want to be like Loop. Oh man,
that's such a truther.
True. He's even got the same name as me. What a day.
What a lad. That's how you know they're a real one.
True.
This is the analysis we come for at the Smiles conference. Do you have anything to say about the Miles conference?
I have something. Yeah. I mean, Alyssa at the top. I mean, Horizon. I mean, crap. Okay, it's fine. Horizon. If I stare at it long enough, it'll just click in my brain. I mean, they're pretty good, I guess. I had them 7th in my mid-season power rankings, which is looking back on it, it's not. I had Nelson at 6. I had Nelson at 6 and Horizon at 7 because they were 1 game apart. So you know, maybe not the best. Maybe not the best thing in the world. Maybe not the best, but you know, their playstyle is a bit different. I prefer Nelson's, to be honest, but Horizon just wins, which happens to the best of us. Tim and Thomas back together is like the dream team. If Thomas loses, he'll be 6 and 9, which is pretty nice. Raffi, my favorite player who I've ever watched, is now gone forever, which is depressing. Sigmoid, he might win a game. That'd be happy days. I like how you highlighted them. Vex. Yeah, let's not talk about Vex. Icy. Yeah, Icy is so cool. He was my first win in Sgfm, which is always a nice memory. Although he came in for a dropped Mojack, which is weird. Raffi, let's talk about Raffi again. Okay, he stopped highlighting them. Okay, let's not talk about Raffi. Let's talk about Horizon. Okay, let's talk about Raffi again.
So have you considered that Vex right now is just sort of running it? That Vex just needs to get a grip, kinda. Have you like? That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
I think Subson gets second.
I'd be very happy with a Subson second. I'm a big Stockman Starmies fan, personally. I'm praying for something real good out of them. After that, I'm just there for 3-0 Kimbo.
True.
As I think we all are.
Yeah, everyone loves 3-0 Kimbo.
Yeah, how can you not?
True. What
a team carried by what a man.
Darren,
It really has been a fantastic season. You raised many great points there, guys. Many, almost too many to keep a track of.
Too many. Wow.
Buckingham Bonsly going 12-3. This nearly takes them probably like 50% overall win rate. In fact, they were historically one of the least successful franchises, but this has really been the story of Smiles Go for Miles. They're up to 43%. They're now 40-53 overall in their career. How long is it going to take for you two to get to 93 Draft League matches? I'm not sure.
Well,
probably just like one more season with how long the seasons are and how extended they are.
true. We're getting old. We're getting long. We're getting big.
The thing is, this is literally my first ever draft league, so I'm sort of just here. I'm vibing.
You're not vibing. You play Loop next week. How terrified are you?
I'm literally quaking in my boots. If you listen really carefully right now, you can probably hear the rattling going on down there. I'm terrified. Loop is, as I think every single one of us can agree, is built different, built better, built pussy poggers.
Wow.
I really think that I'm going to have a scary match. I'm gonna say boo, and he's gonna scare me when I say it. Who should be?
Okay.
Well, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the match. It's gonna be fun. I have taken this draft league as like decently seriously. I have had a bit more fun with it as it's gotten later on, because obviously I know I'm not making playoffs. I'm just enjoying myself.
Wow.
And I think that was a big part of my match with Icerdo. I did really enjoy myself.
I thoroughly look forward to that matchup against the Lincoln Ludicolos then. As for the sweat on your matchup, Icerdo, against the Cheshire Combees, they're off the back of a couple 1-0 losses. Do you think you can hand them a third in a row?
Mate, wait. When did Matty cast a game? Did Matty cast a game?
Matty has been featured, yes. He was featured last week.
Okay. And in that last week, you said, I think I can beat 2 of my next 3 opponents. And hopefully, that doesn't happen, because the boys, the Bolt and Boldore, the Howlucha FC, apparently, are going to come in. They're going to beat the Cheshire Combees. We're going to not get 6-0'd. We're not going to get 5-0'd. We're going to probably 2-0 them, because that's all I do, apparently. And then it's going to be happy days. Got Beartick, got Chickenator, got Larry, got Senor de Vamos, who you have to say with an accent, otherwise it's not as powerful. Oh man, it's gonna be a great day for the Boldore. We're gonna make playoffs. We're gonna clinch it. Happy days.
The featured matchup next week, unfortunately, won't feature either of you. It'll be the Belfast Blazikens against the Dien's Deino. In terms of the Miles Conference, there's a few interesting battles there.
Are they already scheduled?
But yeah, I mean, this Miles Conference just like to schedule things because they feel like that scheduling matches faster makes them feel like they're better. I think that's the one. Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to schedule my matches a lot better, because I have nothing but free time. I have so much free time, and somehow I managed to go on like a huge streak of submitting matches late anyway, despite having nothing but free time.
Well,
so it's better late than.
Don't let Ryan know, or else they won't be very happy. There's been a sudden massive lead opened up at the top of the Mon leaderboard, thanks to Papercut the Cartana receiving a generous donation from the Leeds Litwicks. It's really just a bit of a gap. Honestly, the Scarf Gudra didn't come to the party this week. Manetra didn't come to the party either. We are making moves. Where is our first entrance? It's Senor Vamos.
Senor Vamos.
At number 15. The Hawlucha, of course. The superior Hawlucha. I don't know where the other Hawlucha is.
Not even on top 25.
Oh, wow. That's not very fortunate as we scroll down further. Where are our Plymouth Pachirisu? Mega Pidgeot.
Mega Pidgeot had a full grade. It started strong. Avian Flu started very strong, but it has come in almost every single match I've played.
The real win is the number 26, 9-1 in 4 matches. Auroras.
That ruined my day when I played you.
That's just freeze dryers aren't nice for you. Is it Cresselia still having a party? I don't even need to look. I already know it is. Yep, it's...
Yeah.
Starmies is not in the bottom 4.
Wait, was your first kill against me? For Starmies?
I think it might have been, unironically.
Yo.
Which is really silly. Okay, so I've played Dalmies probably not as well as I could have. I've used it really supportively because it kind of works upsettingly well. It can be really tanky. Its typing is decently good to be tanky. And its moves are one. I thank you, Rye. I can see that Dalmy's got 5 kills for you in your first game, and you know what? I'm proud of your Dalmies. I'm glad it's doing well. My Dalmies is a very big support, big rapid spinners, and when I feel like it will bring Grass MZ because knockoff is vile and scary, and I hate it. And
2 Zs, just bring 2 Zs like last
just
week.
bring 2 Zs, like yeah.
That's
yeah, do it.
Counter knockoff plays right there. Unfortunately, I do pretty much need to leave in a hurry, basically inside the next 2 minutes. But I thank you both very much for coming on. Double feature matchups are very cool. I hope we get more of them. It's a good trend.
Hopefully next time I will be awake when they start.
That's also true, but, you know, frankly, we were very good vibes. It could have all broken out in here, and you could have been at each other's throats, but thankfully not the case. Next week, we'll be joined...
I don't think
we leave that for DMs. We leave that for DMs.
Oh, okay. Well, if anyone new and is looking, exclamation point Discord is there. Maybe, if we're lucky, we'll see a screenshot of said DMs between Icerdo and Flo. Next week's stream will probably be on Sunday, actually. I don't see why it won't be on Sunday, because we've got the open qualifier.
I've got a birthday party.
You are spring, but it doesn't start till later in the afternoon. So we probably is it? What time does the open qualifier start? It might be Monday. It might be Monday. The open qualifier doesn't start because Pudding also can't even do Sunday. But
we'll take over for Pudding. That's fine. Yeah,
you can do his feature match for him. Why not?
True.
Yeah, if it starts at 4, actually, in the afternoon, then probably not. I would need it to start later. It does start at 4. Monday stream it is, I'm afraid. We'll see you all then. We'll see you next time for Smiles Go for Miles Draft League. You'll see me tomorrow, not on Wednesday, but many times over the remainder of this week. You'll also see us later today in just over 2 hours, so don't go anywhere. You're not going to go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. That's the one.
I'm not leaving this call. I'm not leaving this call.
What do we do?